508, 508, 508 is where I'm from. 508 is where I'm from. 508 is where I'm from. See where I'm from, we don't use no catching burners, we don't rip no corners, we're straight money earners, put you to sleep, make your whole family mourners. When we're done with you, they're gonna have to picture us up at the corners. Me and my crew will hit you with that right left, leave you toothless, yeah, cause we're ruthless, yeah, that's some true shit. You don't wanna mess with cheddar, and it's we left you cats in the ambulance, yeah. Food stamps, leave your clothes, buddy, and damn, then we're scooping up the trends. 508, where I'm from. 508 is where I'm from. 508 is where I'm from. See, I'm repping that medicine place media. My producer Geo likes the way I flow like an encyclopedia. Whack cats are on me like bad bacteria. Then they get directed from a dusty free lunch cafeteria. Central Mass is where I reside, where you can't run and hide. I can verify. It was statewide, leave you horrified because you're unqualified. I'm just glad I survived. Time for me to put it in the overdrive, leaving these cats petrified, hitting you with the right hook right in your hard drive. Taking these chumps, taking those dives, taking their girl in the whip on a test drive. You know she loves cheddar sex drive. 508, where I'm from. 508 is where I'm from. 508 is where I'm from. See, I'm from the 508.
We live. All right, what's up, Turtle Riders? Give me 1 sec here. Let me get my mic all set. And there we go. That should be good there. Excellent. All right, welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. The Turtleboy live show. I've gone ahead and I've shared this link to if you're on Facebook, to the Clarence Woods Emerson page. Make sure you like and follow that. Which passed 25,000 followers today, mind you. 25,000. That's not bad for a personal page. The Uncle Turtleboy page, like that one, and the Turtleboy Sports page. Like them all because they don't last that long. Facebook doesn't like having us on there, so we got to keep making new pages, and that's okay because when you break the kind of stories that we break and you tell the kind of truths that we do, it's kind of unpopular with the tech gods because it goes against their, the narrative and the lies that they're trying to push. So we're going to keep, we won't stop, though. I have a right. Platform access is a civil right, and I will remain on there because I want to be on there, period. End of discussion. I've also shared it on Twitter. Make sure you're following my Twitter accounts at Dr. Turtleboy, DOCTOR. Like if Joe Biden's a doctor, so am I. So Dr. Turtleboy, and follow at Turtleboy Phone, and we'll be good. And by the way, Bret, how you doing tonight, Bret?
Good. How's
you
my
look
camera
much clearer tonight. What's up with that? Any explanation?
Yeah. So I've had this camera, like 6 months or something?
Yeah.
And I was today years old when I removed the blue plastic film from the lens. Okay.
Wait, that's why it was freaking... you didn't move the tape?
No. And it was like this blue clear fucking...
Oh, my God. Classic.
Only took me 6 months. I'm getting better at this.
Yeah. All right, folks, here's how we like to start off every episode of Turtleboy Live with a little thing called Where You Reppin'. So let us know in the comments right now, where are you watching the Turtleboy Live program tonight? We got a big audience tonight, almost already 400 people. So let us know in the comments, where you repping tonight? Go.
That's because you're the only person with the balls to tell the truth about this. That's why it's
romantic. Yeah. The Witch City, Whitensville, Randolph, Tucson, upstate New York, Shelburne Falls, Milford, Cranston, Rhode Island, Worcester, Franklin, Drake, Bellingham, Mesa, Arizona, Hanson, Brockton, Millbury, Marshfield, Pawtucket, Hopkinton, Orlando, Tiverton, Rhode Island, West Roxbury, Northbridge, Roxbury, Littleton, Milford, Wilmington, Ohio, Pembroke, Salem, Glendale, Arizona, Brockton, Southie, your mom's house, Dorchester, Dedham, Manchester, New Hampshire, Texas, Westminster, Cedarville, Shelburne, Melrose, Auburn, Massachusetts, Louisiana, Worcester, New Bedford, Dedham, DYS Detention Center, London, Hopkinton, the Worcester Wormtown, Concord, Hopkinton, Watertown, Springfield, Dorchester, St. Albans, Maine, Braintree, baseball game, Buffalo, New York, Fall River, Conway, New Hampshire, Megadeth, Arizona, Pittsburgh's in the house, Acton, Norton, Shrewsbury, Carr Park, Excellent, Holliston, Clinton, Maine. God bless you all. Hopkinton. Oh, we got some Hopkinton. It's good. So if I missed you, I missed you. We love you all. We're going to get as many as we can there. So, but we got a good audience tonight. So here's the deal. I do have a freestyle planned as usual. Okay. It's a good one, Bret. Do you like it? You've heard it already.
It's one of the few that you've done twice to make sure you had it down. It's that good.
I did.
It's one of the few times you did it twice.
I take the freestyle seriously. So I'm a freestyle rapper. A lot of you guys don't know that. If you're new here, I do a freestyle rap every Saturday night. If we can raise $200 in the Donos, because this is how we make a living, folks, is the Turtleboy live show. It's kind of like what I do. So if you we're up to 50 already. That's good. So Jeff Leary, Fall River Law says, love you. And Bret, thank you, Jeff Leary. So we're up to 50. So again, that's what Jeff just did there. That's called the super chat. There's a little dollar sign at the bottom there. If you like what we do and you feel like we're worthy of your Donos, feel free to donate that. If you do that, you get like a colored thing that comes up there and you get to write whatever message you want. So you can give a shout out to your boys, your dog, your baby mama. Even if you don't like someone, you can call them out. There's nothing we can do about it. So that's called the super chat. Feel free to donate whatever you want, say whatever you want, speak your mind, etc. And that's
just
that.
No messages about Snow White. Did you
Why is
see that today before we get started?
Oh God, what happened?
So Disney said that their Snow White roller coaster, it's not getting turned on, and they're gonna replace it with something because it's rape culture. Because the prince didn't get consent to kiss her to save her life and wake her up. So that's rape culture, and they refuse to have that ride in Disneyland.
Wait till they see part 2, where Snow White gets railed by the 7 Dwarfs. They're not going to like that one.
Listen, I'm burning the Bass Pro Shops to the ground when I'm done looting it when they come after 𝗵𝘃𝘆 Le, because that little rapist is going to have problems, son.
Yeah, yes, he is. He's already been canceled. All right, so thank you. Thank you for, let's see, Joe Russell says, I've been waiting for this. Courtney M says, thank you, Courtney. Jess says, thank you for what you're doing. So we are up to $75, $80, $85. Monarchy spews hatred and division. So that's one of that's the only topic we have on for tonight, because we've broken a really big story, especially in the last 24 hours. I've been covering this story all week. I thought it was suspicious. Thank you, Stephanie. Appreciate it. We're up to like 130 then right there. That's great. I thought this story was suspicious from the moment I saw, we've already passed the good. So thank you. We've passed the, we've unlocked the freestyle. But again, if you'd like what you see here, I'd like to get up to 1,000 viewers too tonight. So let's keep sharing that on Facebook. Let people know we're live, because we got a good story here tonight that nobody else has. And Monica's actually pretty upset about it. She actually did a couple rants today. We're going to play parts of those. And in one of the rants, she's like, so we're going to have a guest on, the mother of the girl who's been falsely accused of murdering, essentially, and lynching a 16-year-old black girl named Mikayla Miller in the town of Hopkinton. And we're they are the only one side has spoken out on this, and it's just filled with lies. And we are here to present the other side, because quite frankly, they're done. They're sick of being called murders. No one's speaking up for them except for Turtleboy. Basically, the Hopkinton police are staying mum. The school is staying, mum about this. Nobody's talking. All right. And it's just unforgivable. The DA's office is sitting back and letting these children be essentially called murderers by this mob of douchebags. And we're not standing for it anymore. Our motto at Turtleboy, basically what we do at Turtleboy, is that people think, oh, you're picking on people, you attack people. No, we defend people. We defend victims. In this case, there are 2 sets of victims here. Mikayla Miller is a victim in this. Okay. And because she's a victim of, as we're going to see, the school, her mother, she's a victim of both of them. And also, all of these kids who have been falsely accused of doing something nefarious to her, they're all victims too. And they are being attacked, not just by regular people, morons out there on social media. They're being attacked by powerful people. Ayanna Pressley is one of the most powerful Congress people in Washington, D.C., one of the most well-known, okay, of the squad. And she is fully bought into this, as has the mayor of Framingham, the state Senate president, all of these people, and it is all a lie. You have all been fed one fantastic set of lies. And we are here tonight to undoubtedly set the record straight. And guess what, Bret? You know who's watching tonight? Who has said she's watching?
Monica.
Monica's watching. Hey, girl, what's up? So we're going to expose you tonight. Just welcome to the Turtleboy live show, Monica. This is what we do here. We expose douchebags like you. okay, who all you have is the race card. That's all she can do is just play racist, white supremacist. I bring something called facts. I bring data. I don't have to use theatrics to make my point because I'm smarter than you. I bring receipts. I'm smarter than you. I'm craftier than you. I'm better than you. And I'm a more moral person than you. And tonight you're getting exposed and you're going down. Maybe not. Maybe you'll survive because you're a pathological liar you're like a cockroach. You seem to survive anything, but good luck getting some sponsors after this one because game on, girlfriend. We're going for you. Okay. Welcome to my world. And by the way, you didn't show up in Roxbury in time. Yeah. You have this thing about whenever we're in the same general vicinity ever, you go and hide. How come you never, debate me face to face? I wonder, maybe you're scared of the facts. Maybe you are. Anyway, let's get started to talk about this. So at 9:20, I'm going to bring her on. But first, for those of you unfamiliar with this case, I want to bring on, I want to do a little background here, okay, about the most recent updates in this. So Mikayla Miller was a 16-year-old girl, originally from Quincy, who lives in Hopkinton now. And she had a girlfriend named Caitlin Anderson, who she broke up with. Or I don't know who broke up with who there. It sounds like Caitlin broke up with her. But she died on April 17th. And 2 weeks afterwards, like the beginning of this week, all of a sudden, Monica and other BLM people like Tito Jackson, the disgraced former Boston City Councilor. Hey, Tito, I know you're watching too. They've decided that this was, something nefarious has happened. They have no evidence of this whatsoever. They just believe it to be so. And they believe because this girl is black and the other kids are white. And the totality of their evidence, Bret, literally all they have in their entire evidence was a couple hours before she died, she was punched in the face. Okay, that's it. Because of that, they believe she must have been lynched by these people. We've seen the district attorney, Marion Ryan's office, has done a thorough investigation. Every single one of those 5 kids who has been accused of this has had their cell phones taken from them and had a forensic analysis done by the state police. They've gone through them, everything. They finally recently got their phones back. And everything in there has proven that they had nothing to do with it because the girls had their phones in different locations at the time. The boys are seen on film in a surveillance video in Sturbridge at the Wendy's there. They could not possibly have done it. So let us just walk you through this real quick about the latest updates with this. So from the top here, okay, the first paragraph kind of sums up like the fact that the most disgusting part about this to me is that the Hopkins High School faculty, we know now, the Hopkins police and DA Marion Ryan's office have seen everything that you're about to see or that you've already seen in this blog. They know it's all a lie and they're remaining silent as these children, not grown-ups, children, 16-year-olds are labeled as murderers, racist lynch mob murderers in front of millions of people, and they're remaining silent. The amount of cowardice in that makes me want to puke. Shame on the Hopkins Police Department. Shame on them for not coming out and saying something about this, defending these girls. These girls live in your town. Their parents pay your goddamn taxes. Stand up and defend the girls in your town. Shame on the Hopkins Police Department. They fucking disgust me right now, what they're doing. Shame on them, especially the chief, who should resign in disgrace. Can you tell I'm fired up tonight?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah,
and just the amount of danger this puts those kids in, too. Because all you got to do is watch the news for 5 minutes, and all these psychopaths, some fucking 6th grader just brought a gun to school, started fucking bucking down her classmates. Like the state of this country, some people are just looking for an excuse to go do something violent and memorable. So You're putting all these kids that are getting dragged by this fat fucking wildebeest, Monica. What if someone shows up at one of these innocent kids' houses and does something to them? Whose fault would it be then?
Because Monica doxed them, by the way. Like, check this out.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
this is her post on May 2nd. She posts this whole thing up here about how nobody's doing anything and Black Lives Matter. It's all a lie. And her evidence is literally, look at this. This is the evidence. She gets a message from somebody. They don't know who. It says, since I found out the family of one of these people that attacked her used to be a canine officer for HPD, then water department super. That's not true. Not one of these 5 kids. I've looked into all their backgrounds. Not one of them has a parent who's a cop. Not one. That is a complete and utter fabrication. Not one. Monica doesn't know their names. I do. And by the way, they're not all white. One of the kids' names is Alejandro. I don't think that's a white name. Doesn't sound very white to me. So these 5 kids, Monica puts a couple of their names. She goes, this is a text message, by the way, which says, I'm getting like third-hand information. That is an admittance that this is not like third-hand information. This is not a primary source. That's but the kind of evidence that Monica uses to demonize people, though. It says, so Caitlin Anderson cheated on Mikayla with Wyatt Stevens' sister. And then I'm unclear whether Caitlin or Wyatt's sister beat Monica up. So she is naming 2 people here. Whoever, I don't know who Wyatt Stevens is, but apparently the sister is the one that's dating Caitlin, which is, or whatever. I don't know. Who cares? It's like teen love. I don't have time for who's dating who in Hopkins High School. I don't care. It's not germane to this conversation. But Caitlin used to date Mikayla. And whatever happened, they broke up. It's sad. I mean, we've all been through high school breakups. My first high school breakup sucked. I mean, I was depressed, right? I got dumped. You've been dumped before, Bret?
Yeah.
It sucks.
When you're that young, it's going to happen 50 more times.
Right. Get used to it. Yeah, at least. I mean, it's true. But I mean, so they got the poor girl got dumped. So she was sad. That's perfectly normal. Okay. And this girl originally grew up in North Brookfield. She only moved to Hopkinton, I don't know, a couple years ago, something like that, where her parents are originally from. And there they are. This is the post that she posted on Instagram shortly afterwards of them afterwards. And it's really sad to read. It's like, I can't believe this is happening. I can't believe I have to live without you. I don't know what to say. I'm so sorry that I failed you. I'm so sorry that I chose to be selfish. I'm sorry. This is sad. This is sad because, this girl killed herself. And here this other girl is blaming herself for it, which, a lot of people do in this situation. Cause it's like, oh geez, maybe if because I broke up with you, if I didn't break up with you, you'd be alive. That's a lot to live with, I mean, and it's not fair. She should not put that burden on herself. You should never be in a situation where you're like, I can't break up with this person because I might kill yourself. First of all, it's unfair for anyone to put that burden on you. But it's also like unfair to blame yourself for that because you did nothing wrong. Nothing wrong. Okay.
You gotta, like you said, though, young and in love, you know what I mean? That's what happens. They take it to these extremes, and you can't walk around with that guilt. Hopefully she gets help and talks to the right people about it and works through that and shit. But imagine that being put on your soul at that age.
And on top of that. And that's already on your soul. And then Monica Cannon Grant comes along. This grown-ass 40-year-old pregnant woman comes along and is violent and racist and starts accusing you of being a murderer, a child, and demanding that you be arrested for murder, for killing it. And knowing that this woman is backed by powerful, influential people in Boston, Congresswoman, the Boston Globe just recently, shame on the Boston Globe. Shame on these reporters that are putting this woman out there, some type of civil rights activist. And in particular, shame on Tori Bedford, who, by the way, is basically a welfare recipient. She works for public radio or public television, WGBH. And the other day, Monica referred to this reporter as her homegirl. As her homegirl. Yeah, that sounds like a great relationship for the press to have with somebody like this. I'm sure she's going to be covered fairly. What a joke. What an absolute joke. This is why nobody trusts the media, because they're filled with absolute disgraces like Tori Bedford. We're going to have a story coming on her first, too. Hi, Tori. I know you're watching this. You're a fucking joke. You're a disgrace, and you're going to get a kid killed, okay? You're the lowest of the low. Anyway, Monica, we played this video of her the other day telling all these people to go home and eat their cheese sandwiches and whatever, just making fun of them. They're like, yes, we're so lame. We're white. Yeah, laugh at us. Oh, we like unseasoned food. Good for us. And then you have Tito Jackson out here, the former losing mayoral candidate who lost to Marty Walsh. And he said, this is a quote from him, if she had been white and 5 black kids beat her up and she was found dead the next day, we wouldn't be here 2 weeks after or even 2 weeks later. He's absolutely right, because no one would give a shit if a white kid killed himself. Nobody would. You just feel like another white kid who killed themselves. Nobody would care. It happens millions of times in the history of this country. Nobody would care. He's absolutely right about that. But he seems to think that, like, oh, they'd all be arrested. No, that's not how it works. Now, here's the text messages. These text messages are from Mikayla to a mutual friend. Okay. And these are heavy. So excuse me. As I read these, like she's saying, I didn't want to treat Caitlyn wrong. A lot of stuff just happened in my life. I loved her a lot and I feel like shit. And then the other person says, right, leaking her numbers just happened. So Mikayla apparently like gave her phone number away to some Quincy people who are harassing her, whatever. Like she's a teen girl going through a bad breakup and she lashed out, whatever. It's like not the end of the world. Doesn't make her a bad person, but it shows that she was struggling to handle this. Okay. I know I didn't know what to do. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. He goes, I don't want to treat Caitlyn wrong. A lot of stuff happened in my life. I loved her a lot. Blah, blah, blah. And then I'm sorry. Do I get a sandwich crown dunking Declan as being Zans? But I'm not trying to kettle out. I agree, but I don't feel like being home and sober. I'm not going to do Zans. I'm just going to smoke. I hope you don't hate me. I'm sorry about this week. I didn't mean to call you. I'm really fucking cross right now. I really miss her, and getting fucked up is the only thing right now. And Brooke kept randomly texting me. I don't know what to do. I'm doing Shroom Saturday. Okay. This is a girl who is self-medicating, who is going through a bad breakup, who is going through a mental health crisis. And this is the most telling quote. She says, you know, the mother, meanwhile, 𝗟𝗏 Struthers, who is equally as part of the problem as Monica, says, you know, the old saying, 2 peas in a pod. This is what she said at the vigil the other day. That was us. My daughter was great. Funny, loving, caring, loved me to death. We had a bond that was indescribable. She forgot to mention that she lives in a $3,800 condo in Hopkinton. I don't know how she pays for that. And she routinely leaves the child at home alone so she can fly to Chicago and be with her boyfriend. She didn't mention that. She also didn't mention her March 2020 arrest for domestic abuse of her child. She beat the shit out of her. The girl had a black eye, and they had to call Caitlyn's mother, who came and picked them up. And the police responded to that. And by the way, those charges are still pending. So those charges have not been dropped. So this is an abusive, deadbeat, neglectful mother who has now cashed in. And a lot of people feel sorry. No, don't feel sorry for the mom. The mother is a horrible person. The mother is a bad person, a very, very bad person. This girl would be alive today if she had a mother who did her job. Yeah, nobody likes saying that. I'll say it. If this parenting is a gift from God. If you're too busy to be with your girl because you're getting your swerve on in Chicago, then give your child up. You are unfit to be a parent. There are women out there who are dying to have a child, and you have one, and this is how you treat them. Shame on you. Shame on you. Your daughter needed help. You were nowhere to be found. Shame on you. Don't get up there and act like a victim. And on top of that, instead of taking responsibility for what you did to this girl to make her end up like this, what you did. You're on here calling up 1-800-Monica-Candy-Grant. Come to Hopkinton and raise hell and accuse these white people here of being racist. And let's just start a fucking race riot while we're at it, because that's just what we do. She sounds, very depressed. And she's also she's raised, last I checked, over $40,000 for her GoFundMe for a private investigator, AKA she's going to pocket that shit because there is no private investigator. Nobody's going to privately investigate this. It's being thoroughly investigated by the district attorney's office. Okay. And by the way, DCF asked Caitlyn's mother if she would foster the girl. She couldn't do it. Okay. So she lived in Quincy for 2 weeks before coronavirus hit and was finally reunited with her mother. Okay. Now here's the really scandalous part about this that I just could not believe when I saw this email. This is the most damning part of the story, this email. Would you agree, Bret?
Yeah, this is where it gets real rough, because where the fuck are the adults and the people that supposedly care about these fucking kids?
Yeah.
And by the way, I honestly believe this is the tip of the iceberg. There's going to be so many more of these. Because everyone's more concerned with what words you can say or what movies you can watch and everything else, while our kids are fucking being killed from the inside and no one gives a fuck.
Yep.
Nobody. And like her dad also died of suicide. So this girl has mental health issues up the wazoo. Okay. She needed a hug. That's what she needed more than anything. And luckily, the one person in her life who seemed to care about her more than anyone was the girl who broke up with her, Caitlyn. She sent this email to her guidance counselor, to Mikayla's guidance counselor, before she died. And it says, hi, this woman's name is Keely Murray, I believe.
Is that how you say it? 𝗃𝗲. Hi, Mrs. Murray. I know this is late and random, but I'm really worried about Mikayla Miller, and I didn't know who else she could talk to. I know that you're her guidance counselor, but I think she really needs someone to talk to. She's been crying and having panic attacks. I've had panic attacks. If you're having a panic attack, you need help. Okay. You need serious mental help if you're having panic attacks. Okay. That's from severe anxiety. Severe anxiety. If you're having panic attacks, you need help. She's been crying all weekend. She normally never does. I'm sorry, this email late. So obviously this girl cares about this person. Okay. And included in there were screenshots of text messages in which she's talking about, I'm really worried about Mikayla. Her mom isn't home, of course, because she's in Chicago. And she's been crying all weekend, and I don't trust her alone with herself. And I'm scared she might hurt herself. She tore up her room, and she's screaming and yelling. I don't have 𝗟𝗏𝘃's number to call her. So this is like, I mean, Jesus, they're reaching out. The aunt, by the way, never returns the call. The guidance counselor sends this kind of generic email. Nothing was done. Nothing was done. Nothing was resolved with this. This went on. Shortly after these emails, the girl Mikayla FaceTimed herself with Caitlin. So Caitlin's the only one who saw this. And obviously there's no video of it because Caitlin is the one who saw it. And she said that in the video, Mikayla attempted to kill herself. Right? Like she was obviously struggling with this, with the black belt, the same black belt that she would later actually kill herself with. Wow. How do we know that? Because the girl, when Caitlin was asked by the police, do you recognize this belt? Yes, that's the belt. That's the belt that she tried to kill herself with on FaceTime. Okay. So it's all coming together now. And meanwhile, all these idiots around here are talking about all this nonsense about like lynching and all this other stuff. And by the way, the Hopkins police, their report on this shows that like the ground around Mikayla was undisturbed. No one was there. She killed herself, sadly, by tying one loose end of a belt to a small tree, not a big tree, a small tree. Okay. And the word they used was suspended. Okay. So you can do that. You can just tie it to something sturdy. Doesn't have to be too thick. Just something you put it around. Tie the other around your neck, or just use the belt. Okay. And pull forward, man. Pull forward. I talked about in the show the other night. I tried to do this 3 months ago. It's not, believe me, I don't feel comfortable talking about either. And I couldn't do it. It was fucking hard, man. I couldn't do it. I don't like to reach that point where you're willing to like actually go forward with it and continue to choke yourself and suffocate yourself until you die. The amount of sadness in your soul at that point and pain and having nobody to reach out to, nobody to talk to, that has to hurt, man. And what caused this? Well, earlier in the day, and I don't want to say what caused this, but earlier in the day, a few hours earlier, Caitlin was supposed to show up to get her stuff from the house. Okay. She shows up there and to get her clothes, and Mikayla freaks out, as she's done before, as she mentioned in those messages, and starts throwing stuff everywhere, destroys the clubhouse. The police said that when they got there, the place was destroyed. It was trashed. And something happened. Mikayla ends up getting punched in the face by Caitlin, who is much smaller than her. And the other kids, she's with 4 other kids who are in the car. They get out to break it up, except for one who remains in the car. They leave. The 2 kids from North Brookfield go home. They're seen on video surveillance in Sturbridge after they get off the exit. The 2 and the 3 Hopkins girls go on their way. They go home as well. Cell phone data puts them there. Okay. Mikayla on her phone tracked 1,360 steps from her home to where she died. Okay. Now, Monica's idiot people, because they're not very smart, and their mother's like, she had her phone off. That's not how GPS works, you fucking child. Are you new here? Do you understand how cell phones work? If you carry your cell phone on your person, it does not matter if it's on, moron. That you understand?
Never watched the first 48.
Seriously, do you not understand how pinging works? How cell phone tower? Oh, it's off. I turned my cell phone off. They'll never find me now. You fucking child. Seriously. I can't believe we're dealing with people this stupid, but they are. They're very, very stupid. And they're counting on their audience and people listening to them also being stupid, which coincidentally they are, because they're choosing to believe this. Okay. So I don't bring stupid theories. I bring facts. I bring receipts. I bring messages and stuff like that. So what we're going to do right now, I'm going to bring her mother on here. Okay. Her name's Megan Anderson. She's a really nice lady, but she's going through a tough time. And, you know, I'm anxious to hear from her. So I'm going to bring Megan on now. Hello, Megan. Are you there?
I'm here.
Hey, welcome to the Turtleboy Live Show. Thank you for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
So are you doing okay? How are you?
You know.
Why'd you decide to come forward and talk?
Because everything was one-sided. And as you can clearly tell, my daughter truly loved this person.
Mm-hmm. Your daughter sounds like a great person, by the way.
Well, I may be biased, but she really is. She does have a heart of gold, and she's always thinking about other people and, you know, putting them first before herself.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, I just gave a real quick run through of there. Did I miss anything? Did I get anything wrong?
No, I don't believe so.
Okay. And so you've known about them, obviously, how long were they dating? Like a year?
It was over that.
Okay.
We had some suspicions beforehand, before she came out.
Mm-hmm.
But we wanted her to be able to come out on her own time, and when she was comfortable enough about it, because there are so many stereotypes out there, and especially, you know, being of different races, ethnicities, whatever you want to call it. You know,
but they got along great.
Yeah.
And it just wasn't meant to be. These things often don't work out. And when did they break up? Like, how long before she died did they break up?
I would say, you know, I honestly can't say for certain, but I know the day that Caitlin came up here crying and saying, I finally had to break it off with Mikayla because this has been going on. The emotional and mental abuse, like, had been going on for a while, but they were together for a few years.
Yeah. And she still, obviously, I saw the Instagram post. She obviously still cared.
Of course. Yeah.
Is she having a tough time with this? I mean, like the fact that people are calling her like a murderer, like a grown woman, a 40-year-old woman is calling a child a murderer. How is she dealing with that?
She's having a very hard time with it. Not self-harm type hard time, but, you know, she's 16. She hasn't even really had time to grieve and process this whole thing because of all the back and forth on social and the messages that she's getting, you know, which it's not fair. And there's no ill will against on our end. You know, I mean, Mikayla was always around so much. Anybody who knew that Mikayla loved her Velveeta mac and cheese with hot sauce. Everybody that knew Mikayla knew that she carried her backpack everywhere with her. You know, our door was always open. Our door was always open for any of Caitlin's friends.
So walk us through this. So April 17th, she dies. Her body is found April 18th. Everybody in town finds out. It's obviously very sad. At what point did the rumors start that something more nefarious had happened?
That Sunday, when everybody found out, they immediately started accusing Caitlin of harming her because of the altercation the day before.
Okay. And do you know why did Caitlin hit her?
She was cornered. All she wanted to do was go and get her bag of clothes and whatnot from the complex. And Mikayla kind of cornered her and, you know, tried the whole rhetoric of like, we need to get back together, this and that. But Mikayla had called me a few hours earlier and she was out of sorts. And Caitlin had mentioned, when she showed up, she's blatantly walking around the complex with the Bud Light can in her hand, can't walk, this and that. And, you see, we don't know what else she's on, and I don't want to speculate, but we do know that she was drinking.
Yeah. Okay. So she was drinking, and so you're saying that your daughter doesn't she get in fights ever?
No.
Okay.
She's
so
like 90 pounds soaking wet.
Right. Yeah. She's much smaller than Mikayla. So if she was going to hit Mikayla,
she
it must have been
had
because she was quartered. Yeah. Okay. So it's all, and so this idea that she is the only person who put hands on Mikayla, right?
Yes. Yeah. Well, one of the boys had stepped in the middle of them when the bag was the trash bag of clothes that was going to be handed to Caitlin. Mikayla threw behind her and lunged at Caitlin, and one of the boys just stepped in between, and so that there was no other touching or anything being done. So, and he's about the size of my daughter as well.
All right. So here's the part I don't get is that Marion Ryan is saying that they were in the clubhouse for 20 minutes. That seems odd. Was that true? Were they in the clubhouse for 20 minutes? All four of them? Because they said that only one girl remained in the car. Were they really in there for 20 minutes?
Two people remained in the car.
Which one of the girls? So did both boys get out?
One of the boys, Alejandro,
okay,
was in the vehicle, and one of the girls was in the vehicle.
Okay.
And I don't know if 20 minutes is a correct timeline, but they could have just been talking and,
Right. And things escalated.
Right.
Because very conveniently.
But the thing is that within that 20 minutes, things were being thrown. Mikayla was bashing her head off the pool table. She broke the pool table.
She broke the pool table?
Yes.
In the police report, they said it was absolutely trashed there. And it's unfortunate. Monica's all mad that the video surveillance is gone. But I would argue that the video surveillance being gone actually works for Monica's benefit, because now she can have conspiracy theories. Whereas I'm sure if the video was working, it would show what actually happened, is that this girl was lashing out. She was having a mental breakdown, essentially.
Yeah.
And your daughter assaulted her in self-defense.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And I'm sure part of it was Caitlin trying to calm her down, because that's just the way my daughter works.
Right. So why did she bring 4 people there with her?
They were just out and about.
Okay.
Typical Saturday, like I think they hit Chipotle or whatever they were doing. And where she hadn't seen her friends from North Brookfield, she was kind of showing them around town and whatnot. And, this is, where we moved to.
Yep.
Yada, yada, yada. So, at that age, driving around at that age, it's typical.
Yeah.
Now, as an adult, you're like, oh, geez, I got to get in the car. Like, really? Yeah.
This sounds like
you need to be taxied here and taxied there. Thanks.
Yeah. So this sounds like a pit stop. Like they was just out and about and like, okay, I got to swing by and pick up my clothes here. Okay. Yeah. And your daughter wasn't driving. So she's not even old enough to drive.
She's not old enough.
Okay.
Yet.
And none of the kids were except for the 18-year-old.
Right.
Okay.
Correct.
Now, of these 5 kids, none of them, their parents are police. Caitlin's parents are police officers, correct? And neither are any of the other kids.
No.
Okay. So there's a debunked lie right there. It's absolutely not true. And of course, one of them is not white. Not that matters what the race of the kids are, but that's a lie too. Just so there's another one that's a lie. And so all of this is going on.
Puerto Rican.
And you've been questioned by the police pretty extensively, correct? You and your daughter?
Oh, yes. They've they were literally here every single day from August 18th to, I'm still talking with them now.
Right.
And they agreed that this would be a good outlet for me to put out our side of the story, because they are working tirelessly and effortlessly. And
has anyone from the mainstream media attempted to contact you?
What would be mainstream media? I mean, I think I said
NBC, Boston Globe,
Patch tried to
the Holliston Patch. Okay.
Yeah, no, I didn't. You know, I saw it in my requests, but
this is a little bit bigger than the Holliston Patch. The Boston Globe, WBZ, Fox, Boston 25 News, none of them.
No.
So Monica's getting all this coverage, and no one's bothered talking to you guys. Okay, no one's doing their homework or cares who these people are. They prefer boogeymen, I think, imaginary people. Now, has your daughter received any threats as a result of this?
She had to go to school to pick up assignments and whatnot, and you know, people. She's walking down the hallway and calling her a murderer and a rapist, a racist, lynching. Like, it's, you know,
disgusting.
It is. It's disgusting.
Have you? I mean, in that.
So I've pulled her from school. Even my middle schooler hasn't been going, because it's trickled down to the middle school.
Have you attempted to contact Hopkinen High School administrators about those emails?
I have talked to one of, I don't know if he's a guidance counselor or an adjustment counselor or what his actual title is, but I basically just stated that please stop harassing my daughter with the emails and checking in on her. She doesn't want to talk to you guys. She doesn't trust any of you at this point.
But have you brought to their attention that, I mean, it angered me so much when I saw that email, because they literally told her beforehand, this girl is suicidal. This girl is having a mental health breakdown, and then she killed herself. If you were in any other line of work, you would be fired on the spot for malpractice, for negligence. You had one job. You were warned in writing, and there are receipts, and you did nothing about it. And you have your job still. Have you brought that up to them and said, what's up with this?
No, honestly, I've really just been trying to stay out of it because I wanted them to be held accountable by the proper authorities, not.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. I mean, at least it wouldn't happen on its own. It wouldn't happen organically because the media, they're doing nothing. I mean, the police know about this. The police have read these. If I read these emails, this has all been submitted as evidence, correct?
Yes, of course.
And the police are sitting there watching this mob descend on their town, and they're just like, better not say anything. I don't want Black Lives Matter to get mad at me. Oh yeah, guess what, Hopkinen police? They already hate you, okay? Because they hate cops. They want to abolish cops. So stop trying to please this anarchist mob of douchebags and protect the taxpayers and the children in your town. Shame on you. Do your job. Disgusting. Yeah. Disgusting.
Yeah, so, it's pretty disappointing. You know, I don't know. I don't know how else to say it, but it's disturbing. And, you know, they're saying that they're here to support Caitlin. And they're
if they were here to support Caitlin, they would put out a public statement that Caitlin attempted to save this girl's life by contacting her guidance counselor. That's what they would do. They wouldn't have to read it on Turtleboy. They would put out a public statement. They don't care about your daughter. They care about self-preservation and themselves and protecting this guidance counselor who's screwed up and should resign in disgrace immediately.
Yeah. I mean, and there's,
At least she had her pronouns in her bio. That's the really important thing. We need to know that she does in fact have a vagina and she agrees that it should be there. So at least she established that much. She went out of her way to put she, her, hers in her bio, but she couldn't bother actually protecting this child when she needed help, which was her job. So I got a question because I thought about this. Have you thought about suing them? Because you've been defamed. This is like the definition of defamation, what has happened to you.
Well, I'm not going to comment on that at this point.
Okay, good. Good answer. Because she made a video today and she called me about me.
And, you know, fully aware of her videos as they've been sent multiple times. My Facebook was shut down today. It was hacked twice. So
that's suspicious.
Yeah, I've never had an issue since 2008, I think, or 2009 when I opened up my Facebook account.
Yep.
You know, when MySpace got, you know, that was for the younger kids, and
yeah,
now Facebook is, you know, according to the younger kids, it's for old people.
Yeah, they don't use
they don't use it. So
yeah. So I mean, I've thought about. I mean, the only one who's actually defamed me in the group so far is Monica. But you've been defamed by people like Tito Jackson, powerful people.
I know.
You want them to shut up, sue their ass. I'm telling you right now. You don't have to acknowledge whether or not you do it. Sue their ass, because they do not get away with this. And I hope the parents of the 4 other kids do the same, because Monica, by the way, put their names out there.
And I don't understand how she can get away with that when they're minors and continuously, you know, she's saying, oh, Caitlin Anderson's going on Turtleboy. What, really? Caitlin's going on there? Why don't you get your facts straight, honey?
Yeah, she's obviously stupid. She actually put that in her video today that Caitlin's coming on there. And then somebody's like, yo, her mom's coming on too. And her mom's coming on. Oh, man. No, the child is not coming on here. I've not spoken to the child. I'm not going to bring a 16-year-old here on there to throw her into this mess. She doesn't need that. But you have a right to defend your daughter, which is a lot of people initially kind of warned you not to come on here, didn't they?
Excuse me? I'm sorry.
Did people warn you or urge you not to come on here?
Yes.
Yeah. And what made you...
everybody who was involved in the investigation did urge me to come on.
Really? Okay. Because, you know,
because they know that they're leaving no stone unturned. And that's what utterly pisses me off, is that people are taking things that they don't know the facts about and jumping to conclusions. These people don't just go to school and go to the academy and become detectives. It's like, oh, here's your detective badge.
Mm-hmm.
Life doesn't work like that.
Right. Right. So these what are you saying? That they're like trained professionals and that they know what they're doing?
Of course.
Right. Of course. Right. So this is not, but apparently Monica Cannon Grant thinks that she's freaking Sherlock Holmes out here solving mysteries, even though she has no clue what she's talking about. She said that the black belt.
Does she even have a GED or a high school diploma? Do we know that?
Doubtful.
Sorry.
I mean, if she does, that it should be refunded, because all she's good at is yelling and screaming and getting pregnant. That's the only thing she knows how to do. Unfortunately, because she's reproduced several times. And had you ever heard of Monica Cannon Grant before this?
No, not until I had seen some comments on Facebook, and I privately messaged her asking her to stop with these unfactual things until the investigation is done and whatnot. And she just basically lost it on me.
So what do you mean she lost? So you messaged her and you were like, hey, this is my daughter. You respectfully, did she like take your screenshots and put them up on Facebook like she always does?
I don't know about that, because right after I had, you know, the conversation with her, she immediately, I've never blocked anybody in my entire life. And I knew in my gut that she was somebody that needed to be blocked.
Have you ever spoken? Did you have any sort of relationship with 𝗟𝗵𝘃𝗀𝘆 prior to this?
No, other than that Saturday evening after the altercation, she called me stating that Caitlin had punched her in the lip and that she was going to press charges.
Okay.
But Mikayla had already texted me beforehand and let me know that her and Caitlin had an altercation. So
okay, so she alerted you. Okay.
Yeah.
And so even though and you said that she goes away a lot. She goes to Chicago a lot, right?
Yes.
And she leaves her home alone?
Yes.
And with food?
No. A lot. Not that. I mean, I've done grocery shops numerous times for Mikayla.
Yeah.
I'll always send Caitlin with money if they want to grab pizza at 𝗃𝗃𝘃𝗃 because it's within walking distance from the condo complex. Or, you know,
I mean,
to
is she
order out.
like it costs $3,800 a month to live there, and she drives a Mercedes Benz. Are they rich? What does this woman do for work?
She did. I don't know.
She's a hair. I mean, she owns a hairdressing salon that no one's ever heard of before. That only recently seems to open in Hopkinton. I don't know.
That space was never leased. It
Oh,
never opened.
So her business is a Facebook page.
Yes.
And her online reviews from Quincy, her old shop, make it look like it sounds like she was doing it out of her home. So I don't know where this money's coming from, but it's coming from somewhere.
Sure either.
And now she's raising money for an investigation, which there's nothing to investigate. This has already been done. I'm just wondering why this is taking so long. Like, why is this taking so long the longer this goes on and they don't just release what happened, the longer it fuels Monica's rage, etc.
Yes. And unfortunately, I feel bad for my daughter because her name is basically the number one name out there right now, whether it's in print or coming out of somebody's mouth. But Caitlin already has to live with this for the rest of her life.
And she did nothing wrong. I know she'll probably feel guilty, but she did nothing wrong. I just want to let you know that. I mean, there's nothing wrong with breaking up with someone. It happens. Or defending yourself when you feel cornered. There's nothing wrong with either of those things.
Yep. Nope. The only thing she did was reach out, Yeah. And try to be there even after their breakup. So
are you worried that she might be arrested for assault? Because Monica's really pushing this whole, they need to be arrested for assaulting.
Again, that's something that we can touch base on later.
Okay.
I don't want to talk about any legal
I understand.
things. My daughter is a minor and we aren't adults. So
yeah, I get it.
We have a pretty clear plan set in place.
Glad to hear. And I hope you confer with the other parents of these kids and do the same, because Monica will put their name out there. Monica announced today that she's going to bring 55,000 people to Hopkinton. And now she goes, now it's a protest. That was a vigil the other day. AKA she's going to riot. She's going to start something bad here and raise hell. And the town of Hopkinton this should not be allowed to happen. They should need a permit for this, and it should be denied by the Board of Selectmen. And are you aware that there's a woman running for selectman named Muriel Kramer, who sits on the board that bails people out of jail, the Massachusetts Bail Fund, who is encouraging this?
I was not aware of that. No,
yeah,
I'm not really
political.
We just moved back here a few years ago. Things have changed so much in the 13 and a half years that we were gone.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really have time to pay attention to the town politics, which is
understandable.
Which sounds silly. Obviously, now I'm going to start paying more attention.
Yeah,
who our elected officials are and who's running for what.
Yeah. So I'm going to kind of open up if anybody has any questions they want to ask. If I see any good questions there, I'll ask. If you have any questions, ask them in the comments. I'll answer. I'll ask the good ones I see there. Brett, do you have anything to ask?
No, but I did want to say that I think you're an incredible mother for having the balls to come and stand up for the right thing and for your daughter. And your daughter is an amazing person that still tried to help and reach out to someone that she cared about. My only advice would be, if she can, and I'm sorry the language, stay the fuck off social media. It's fucking cancer. Be around the people that love you and that care about you. Reach out, talk to people, and I really hope you work through it. But you're fucking awesome.
Yeah.
This is what you wanted, right?
I mean, I agree. No,
I think you're fucking great for trying to help someone that was suffering.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for everything that you said. It truly means a lot that there are people who are willing to listen to our side. And I have no reason to lie about anything, nor does my daughter. And we have nothing to cover up. So that's why I just wanted it put out there.
Have you thought about like leaving Hopkinton? I mean, one person asked that.
We're just going to try to get through what we're dealing with right now. But again, I'm not going to go run and hide in the corner and let somebody tell me where I have to live because of something like this. We need to stand strong and stay as a community, especially, and bring more mental health awareness and whatnot.
Yeah, absolutely.
Instead of making this about race, because when it comes down to it, that has nothing to do with it. I mean, my daughter's, you know, that whole card just rubs me the wrong way. Yeah. Obviously, if we had a problem with it, they wouldn't have been dating for years.
Right. How often was she left home alone, would you say, Mikayla?
You know, honestly, I can't answer that question. I don't want to speculate.
Okay. Next, has anyone in Hopkins reached out in support of you or your family?
Yes, very many people. As I said, my husband and I grew up here, and the people that know us and know our daughter have just been so helpful throughout this whole thing, just constantly asking what they can do to help, you know, even running to the grocery store for us so that, you know, we don't have to go out and be seen. God forbid that one person says, oh, there's that mother or father or little brother, or, you know.
Yeah. Somebody has a good, and by the way, people are saying Happy Mother's Day. Can you talk about DCF wanting you to foster her? What was that involved? Like, and where did she end up going? Why'd you say no?
It wasn't that. Okay, the incident between her mother and I, the mother and her had happened. I was called. Caitlin was hysterically crying. Like, I was like, you need to slow down because I can't understand you. You know, take a breath and tell me what happened. So she tells me, I go to the complex to pick up the girls, and then I see all the cruisers pulling in. I immediately turn around. I'm like, girls, we need to go back. The police are here. You need to tell them exactly what happened. I can't get a kidnapping charge on me or aiding and abetting who knows what. So DCF gets involved, and this woman had asked if I could take her in, and we were literally just like, we weren't even settled yet from the move. And unfortunately, you know, we don't have like this huge lavish home that I felt where she would have enough of her own space.
Also, it's your daughter's girlfriend. I would argue that it's inappropriate for a child to live with their significant other at that age. That is,
that was also, you know, a little bit of it too. We went back and forth, and you know.
Anybody know, like, so they've argued that like there's no
it was we didn't think that she'd end up in Quincy. I said, who's going to be driving her back and forth from Quincy to Hopkinton to go to school every day?
She really did.
And the DCF worker had stated that she would be doing it personally. So.
That's insane. Wow, that's crazy. But why won't the police chief explain the log was redacted? Because this is what they keep pointing to. There's nothing in the log. There's nothing in the log that they called about. And do you know
I honestly, I don't know. I don't believe that Chief Bennett was chief at the time.
Oh, he was. Oh, I
think it was Evans or somebody else. Or no, maybe I forget. I don't think
They're talking about the. I think there's nothing in the log on April 17th. I think that's what they're talking about.
Oh, I'm not. You know what? I'm not quite sure. I know I've known Officer. Well, what used to be Officer Joseph Bennett, and then Sergeant and whatnot, before he became chief. And he honestly, he's a really great person, down to earth.
I don't think he's so great, but that's just me. He's screwing you over, by the way.
Oh, well, that's good to know.
That's my opinion. M Job says, why couldn't the aunt take in Mikayla?
We don't know. We didn't even realize. We were told that she didn't have family in the area.
Then how did your daughter know to text the aunt?
She ended up meeting her somehow through, I think maybe she'd stop by the apartment or the condo at one point or another or something when Caitlin was there.
Mm-hmm.
And then she had reached out to Caitlin for some reason or another, looking for, I don't know if it was Mikayla or 𝗟𝗶𝘃𝗀𝘆. Again, I don't want to speculate. So,
yeah. Anyway, so anybody else have any other questions here before? Do you have anything more to add to this, or?
I don't think so. I mean, I'm sure we'll have conversations in the future, because I don't see this coming to an end anytime soon.
Not based on what Monica posted today.
So, you know.
Did your daughter have any type of relationship with Mikayla's mom? That's a good question.
Nope. She always said that every time she walked into the condo, she was basically ignored. There was no hi, hello, anything. It's basically like she didn't exist.
Did her mother approve of the fact that she was gay? So was she
I don't know. Okay. I don't know.
All right. Okay. Let's see. You knew of the FaceTime attempted suicide, right?
Yes.
Okay. And Caitlin was the only person who witnessed that.
Yes.
Okay. And she recognized when the police questioned her about the belt.
She described the belt to a T.
She described, okay. So she's, without seeing a picture of the belt, she was able to describe it.
Yes.
Okay. I mean, belts kind of look the same, don't they? They're black.
Nope. She described it was a specific belt, and I can't get into that, but it was 𝗟𝗏𝘃𝗀𝘆's, and it had a pattern to it.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry. It's just.
Oh, you're doing great. You're doing great. I mean, it's hard. I'm sure. Like, look what these fucking did to this woman. But what is I just want to say that what has happened to you is an injustice, and it needs to be corrected. And so we have a big audience here tonight. If there are any attorneys out there who want to make a name for themselves, who want to do justice, who actually want to help somebody out, who want to go for some big fish like Tito Jackson and Ayanna Pressley and anybody, this is like the Nick Sandman thing in Covington. What has happened, and the people attacking this child, they think they can just go on there and virtue signal and get some retweets and destroy people. They need to pay. So if you're an attorney out there and you'd like to help this family, they don't have much money. They're just regular people from Hopkinton, okay? They're not rich. They're not living large. But if you would like to help them out, if you actually care about justice, this is your chance. And you can have free advertising on my website for eternity if you do this, if you step up. So if there's any attorneys out there who want to do that, that is the deal. That is the deal. So, well, thank you for coming on. I appreciate it. I know this.
Yeah, and happy early Mother's Day, and thanks for protecting your daughter like a good mother does. And you're awesome.
Thank you very much. I appreciate
Contact
it.
him. Come back on if there's any
to hear our side.
Yes, I'm happy to have you anytime. So keep up the good work. We'll keep talking. We'll be in touch.
All right, sounds good. Have a great night, guys.
Thank you. You too.
You
Bye.
too.
Bye-bye.
All right. That was intense, man. Intense.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to play. We're going to play the Monica videos from today. So she did 2 videos today, and people, because she has reacted to this. Now, there was not only my story yesterday, But right before my story, the Boston Herald put out a story about her arrests from March of 2020. And she didn't just like hit this girl once. She beat the shit out of her. And Mikayla was
it
the
ain't
one.
like the shoe thing with Eliana. They just whacked him with a shoe and it's over.
No,
like, this
wasn't a shoe.
Out of
like
her,
this
right?
is like knocked you in the face. To do that to your own daughter, you're evil. So what we're gonna do right now, we're gonna watch Monica's reaction to this, because not only is she mad at me, obviously, she's also because I wondered how she react to this. People are like, "Oh, she's got nothing now." I'm like, you don't know this woman. Then you don't know this woman. This woman will just continue to lie.
Do you think Monica's going to have something to say about this tonight? Tomorrow, is she going to be talking shit?
She's going to be taking clips of everything that woman just said right there. She's not going to go after me and you. She knows she can't.
I was going to say, because listen, I ain't a ring ding, bitch. Keep my name out your mouth, you fat fucking hooker.
Yeah, you can suck all the dicks.
I'm a Jason dick for you. See, I ain't a Twinkie, bitch. Keep my name out your mouth, you fat hoe.
Yeah, exactly. Like, good luck with Bret. Like, you think I'm bad? Wait till you meet Bret. You're going to love him. So she's not going to waste time going after you. Now, she's just going to call us white supremacists because that's all she has, and she'll move on. But she will go after this woman hard, which makes her incredibly brave, and we need to protect this woman because her and her daughter are victims here, because Monica is not afraid to go after a child. And I would argue, and this people are like saying that need to, what about Mikayla? I'm like, we're the only ones out here defending Mikayla, because Mikayla committed suicide and nobody's addressing the mental health crisis that she was going through except for us. They are living in this fantasy world of make-believe where Mikayla was just this happy-go-lucky teenager who had no problems. Life was going great until a murderous mob of white people lynched her. And that is, when you do that, you don't address the problem and nothing gets corrected. So they don't give a shit about her. All they care about is fucking pushing this BLM agenda. And it's all bullshit. It's all based on lies. So let's watch Monica's, she did a 2-part video today. And let's watch the first part here.
Kate eye roll.
Hmm?
I gave you the Kate eye roll. You should have seen it. It was great.
Can we take what comment down? Just what comment? I don't know what comment you're talking about. Anyway, let's play this. I'm gonna skip around to some good parts here. So let me know if you guys
roll
can
that fat bean footage. Ugh.
Ugh.
Damn, look, I wouldn't even want to come on it. Just ugh.
Because I'm ready. Case. When she got to the courthouse this morning, and DA Roger,
it's real low.
I said Tito say,
oh, it's low? Okay, I'll change the
as we begin to get information, talk to this mom, get information on this case, we begin to realize that the cover-up was real. Now, I'm going to drop some things, and I'm going to say allegedly, but I'm going to drop some things. And the reason why is because I woke up this morning, and DA Ryan has leaked a assault case that Mikayla's mother was involved in with her deceased child, and gave it to the racist ass Boston Herald. Okay.
So leak. So she's accusing Marion Ryan of leaking this open court case to the Boston Herald, as if the Boston Herald does not have the resources to go down to the courthouse and ask for papers, right? Just like, were there any open cases on this? Because that's good for the Herald. They actually did some homework. The Globe obviously has no intention of doing that because they might find something they don't like. They might find something that goes against their narrative. But the Herald,
doesn't every newspaper print like that week's arrests and all that shit? Are those leaked too?
All public record. When you assault your child, it's public record. And she's basically saying, "How
you're gonna run around treating your kid like Anderson Silva's next opponent, yeah, people are gonna fucking find out about it."
Yeah,
beating on some little kid.
And she's arguing here basically like, you can't do this because the child is dead and you're going after the mother. It's like, no. The premise here is that the child is dead largely because of the mother, who is now profiting with a $50,000 GoFundMe. That's what the GoFundMe's up to, 50 grand.
That's the new. Remember how? Oh, sorry. Remember you were talking before, like the ratchet tax and how the ratchet handbook keeps evolving? That's the new thing. When something goes horribly, horribly fucking wrong, you want tens of thousands of dollars for a private investigator. Now you want to hide you want to hire a baby tracker or pet tracker or whatever the fuck, and you need 50 grand to do it, that's the new thing. That's now added to the Rolodex of ratchet bullshit with the GoFundMe's and everything. Yep, private investigator.
Exactly. So let's play some more here.
Let me tell you why this is problematic. They initially told her mother they were going to dismiss it. There was no evidence.
No, they didn't.
There was
lie.
No
Where's
reason
she getting that
to
from?
pursue this case.
Oh, there's no
When
need
she got
to pursue
the courthouse
child assault.
yesterday. They say to her, well, we continued the court date until July because you were rallying in Hopkinton.
Oh, I'm sure they said that. Yeah. Sure.
Now, had they dismissed it, no one would be able to discuss it.
Had they dismissed the, assault and battery on a child, had they done that, as apparently Monica wants. Sorry, Monica, you're in the wrong county. You're thinking of Suffolk County, where Rachel Rollins, your old homegirl, who's no longer your girl, who, by the way, has disavowed you publicly and wants nothing to do with you because you're that embarrassing. You're so low and embarrassing that Rachel Rollins hates you so much, hates her so much, that she text messaged Rayla Campbell and gave her information on Monica about where she would be and when. And she's like, oh, Rachel Rollins, my girl. No, Rachel Rollins hates you. She hates you. And Rachel Rollins is basically a communist, and you're too radical for her. Yeah, think about that. Goes on to say.
Yeah, let that
They
sink in.
purposely kept it open so that they could leak it to the Boston Herald to paint the picture that Mikayla was being abused.
She was abused.
Which is BS.
No, it's true. It's a fact.
Not only is it BS,
can we please send this girl a battery to fix that goddamn...
Because DA Ryan is in her feelings that we came to Hopkinton and we're demanding for her removal. This is what they do to people of color. If you have anything wrong, they go looking for it so that they can character assassinate you and take away from what you're advocating for. Why would you keep an assault case open for her deceased child, right?
Because she assaulted her.
And that child is not here to testify, speak on it.
So it's like saying, Bret, why did the police go after Chris Watts? His kids are dead. His kids are dead. Why are you caring about it previous? Just because the child is dead.
Over, ain't it?
Yeah, it's like, well, then problem solved. She's dead. Who cares now? Yeah, we'll just forget about that child assault. It never fucking happens. God, she's fucking stupid.
On her own behalf or anything. The same reasons why you haven't filed any criminal charges in the death of Mikayla. Like you told me, Mikayla is not here to testify. That was the reason you gave me as to why you couldn't file criminal charges against these people that jumped her. And the same reason you couldn't do that is the reason why this case shouldn't have went to the Herald, but you did it purposefully because you didn't like that we came to Hopkinton, and then you told that mother that, okay? Oh. You were going to dismiss this case, but instead of dismissing...
Is that true? Someone in the comments said in the Herald, it said that she hit the kid with a fucking bat. Is that
she did? She hit the child with a bat. No, it is. It was in the Boston Herald with a baseball bat. That's how much of a ratchet.
Well,
and
see now, if that kid was still alive, we should have a march or something. But since she's dead, that's not even assault, man. That's a false narrative by the.
Maybe we should have a rally for justice for Mikayla. Maybe we should do this, and for the other kids in town. Maybe we should have our own rally on the Hopkins Common. What do you guys think of that? I'm sick of these people being the only people that fucking rally. Fuck them. I know that
we could have it at Hopkinton State Park, which is real nice and has great fishing. We could have the Turtleboy protest / fishing derby. It'd be great.
You'd like that. You'd like that. Here we go.
It'd be great.
Case.
I'd win.
You kept it open so that the media could have access to it. And then you didn't give it to a credible media outlet because none of them were going to touch it. You gave it to the Boston Herald, who's losing traction and losing viewers.
She's not right
and they
about that.
needed this great catch. Now, we both know the Boston Herald works with racist organizations called Turtleboy, TV Sports, Turtleboy's Daily News. If you see TV Daily News and you're sharing that article as a Black person, you need to reevaluate who you are and what that means.
Remember we had Black Night in Boston on Turtleboy back in September? We had Jamal on. And Jamal Crawford was on, and he was kind of here to question me. A lot of people are saying that you're a white supremacist. Are you like that? Remember Jamal? You called him Bubbles.
You're glossing over the fact. You're glossing over that she used both of your brand names. She used
She did.
Turtleboy Sports and TB Daily News.
She did.
So even this fucking breeding heifer knows that there's two of them, and she shouted them both out. You should send her a Blue Line T-shirt. Turtleboy Blue Line.
Yeah,
already
free
get the
T-shirt.
fucking mail. Send
We
her a
don't,
fucking shirt.
Brett. We don't make 6XLs, dude. Sorry, brother. Ain't gonna happen.
You don't have
We
Blue
don't
Line
do
tablecloths? We can just throw one of them.
Do we make
No.
Turtleboy? We don't make Turtleboy moo-moos yet, but we might have to now. Just throw a big curtain over her. But it's interesting. She mentioned like black people can't share this. Newsflash, Monica. Black people hate you too. We had like. When Jamal was on, we had all these people call up, and every black person that called in is like, Monica's a fucking embarrassment. They're like, this, who does she think she is? She represents she's such a piss poor representation of the black community. Like, she's just like what a racist person would throw up there as a representation of the black community. She's not. Black people aren't like this. This is ridiculous. This woman is a fucking joke. I feel like the media, the racist liberal media, wants somebody like Monica to be the representative of black people because that is how they view black people, right? As uncivilized, as ignorant, and they're just like, yeah, this is how black people talk. This represents black people. No, it's not. No, it's not, you racist liberal pieces of shit. God, I hate them.
Don't start it yet. Don't.
Go ahead.
Look at her right there. It looks like she's trying to shit or fart. Like the pause face right there. It looks like she's grunting one out like buffet and just gonna.
Here we go.
That is a racist news outlet. Everything that they talk about and post is about black people, and they have a fixation on black women. They've been attacking me since 2017. They did it to DA Rachel Rollins. They did it to Congresswoman Ayanna Pressley. They attack anybody.
I hardly ever read about it.
So in addition to you character assassinating this mom, then Turtleboy drops an article.
I don't think I've ever gone after anyone harder than Kylie Kirkpatrick, who's white. And by the way,
I don't ever remember you going after Elvis Presley.
That's true. But I've gone after so many people that are white. We did a whole study on this. Like 72% of the people I write about are white, which is actually pretty representative of the population as a whole. So boom, roasted. You're wrong.
And the guidance counselor says he missed signs that he could have probably caught that would have prevented Mikayla's suicide.
Yes.
Everybody has deemed this a suicide.
It was.
But nobody is a doctor. Nobody has done an investigation. And nobody was there when she passed away. Or were you? So let's dig deep into
no one was there. She just said no one was there. Yeah.
That's right. That's the only true thing she said. Of course no one was there.
She just said
it was a suicide, you black rhino. What the fuck are you talking about? Exactly. It's the only fair thing she said.
Jumping Mikayla, who are being protected.
You're making me.
Jalen, get my water, honey. I wish I had tea.
Let me get my belt, honey.
She just won.
So let's dig into that, y'all. Right? Mind you, let's just keep it a buck. There's no police log of Mikayla being jumped. There's no police log of them finding her body. But you went and found an assault case from March to share with the Boston Herald.
Right.
So you couldn't log. Father is a former.
This is when she starts lying about the kids.
From the very beginning, the moment that the world realized that Monica Cannon Grant was involved and that I was coming to Hopkinton. Let me tell you something about the people of Hopkinton. Not all of them are racist. Not all of them are scary. So they begin to send me messages.
Yeah, the white
all kind of people, teachers, guidance
I believe that. I do
counselors,
believe that.
Residents, sharing information about who these young people are. One of the first messages I received was that these young people, and more specifically, the Stevens' kids.
So now she's calling out kids by name.
Their father is a former K-9 officer who then turned into, began to work at the water department.
Third-hand information. Wrong.
Whose last job was on the what? Selectmen board.
Oh, no.
You know the selectmen board that DA Ryan went to, had conversations about
She's unraveling the conspiracy theory.
Details that she did not give this family.
She's figured it all out.
That board.
Oh, that board.
When everyone asked why,
I love how smart
when we went on Jim Browdy, and Jim said, so Monica, so DA Ryan, I have the same questions that Monica has. Why hasn't there been an arrest in this case when you state that a crime has been committed? And she said, well, Mikayla is not here. That's why, and we need another person to testify. BS. Do you guys remember the case of the young lady who contributed to the suicide.
Oh, you see where she's going here, right?
Yeah, no, yeah.
I told you I called this one. She's going to try to play the 𝗟𝗂𝗏 card because that's what she wants, because they know that they didn't lynch him. So she's going to try to get these kids like, well, they contributed to her suicide. They made her kill herself. And that's why I was against the 𝗟𝗂𝗏 conviction to begin with, was that it just opens Pandora's box for every suicide from now on. Be like, you caused this. No one causes a suicide except for the suicidal person. That's bullshit. But this is not even remotely close to 𝗟𝗂𝗏. 𝗟𝗂𝗏 was fucking sick. Go ahead.
Well, no, I had to defend that in the comments of one of your posts on this, where someone brought that up, and I was like, she encouraged a horrible act of a vulnerable person.
Repeatedly.
But you saying that some action, and then the lady walks away, kills herself, that they committed a crime. That's fucking insanity.
Right.
It's madness.
Right.
It's just like you said, a shitty comparison.
It's one of
Monica's getting all conspiracy theory. I got to give you one of those which one questions. If you had to bang a conspiracy theorist and it was Alex Jones or Monica, which one you fucking?
Alex Jones or Monica?
Just one time, not on camera. You don't even got to admit to it, but one of them, you're fucking one of them.
Jonesy.
Which
not even close. Oh, of course.
I would too, because you could have a beer with them afterwards and feel better about it. You know what I mean?
Hey, this is all big deep state collusion. That didn't really just happen. No. You don't understand. Aliens came down there and they were making us do it.
And I'm telling you, me and Joe Rogan are going to get this all figured out. I'd be like, all right, Alex, that's the fucking whiskey, pal. Quit looking at me like that.
Yeah, trust me. The deep state, CNN, they're all in on. All right.
It's all prices
actor. Kid who died in the car, she told him get back in the car and turn the car on with the car and announce that. They charged her with murder, right? Because she assisted in his death.
Oh, yeah.
So explain to me why these 5 white children haven't been arrested. You couldn't log a report, but you could drop an article to character assassinate this mom. Why? Because they're cops' kids. That's why. They're cops' kids. And Sergeant O'Brien knew that. Sergeant O'Brien knew that, which is why he immediately said, trust me. And my 20 years of experience, this is a suicide. This is why all of these people are pushing the suicide narrative, because cops' kids are involved. Let's tell the truth and shame the devil. Let's do that. Allegedly, cops' kids are involved. Allegedly. Okay? So as we move along, I begin to get messages. And allegedly, the Stevens' sister, is the new girlfriend of Mikayla's ex-girlfriend, allegedly. So Caitlyn, allegedly.
All right. And
I need y'all to understand why they jumped her.
Okay, why'd they jump her?
Mikayla's mother discussed it yesterday when she was speaking to 𝗼𝗵𝐾𝗄 Mallory, but of course,
time out.
Me and Tito didn't get a chance to.
Do you know who 𝗼𝗵𝐾𝗄 Mallory is, Bret?
Yeah, the guy that faked his beatings partner, right? Isn't she on a TV show or was on one?
No. 𝗼𝗵𝐾𝗄 Mallory is one of the leaders of the Women's March, and she had to step down from her role in that because she has tons of grossly anti-Semitic comments out there. She hates Jews, and she also hates Black people who are conservative more than anything. During the whole Breonna Taylor thing, I played her videos before. She had one of the most disgusting videos I've ever heard about Daniel Cameron. Daniel Cameron is the he is the district attorney for Louisville, and he could not press charges on those officers because legally they did nothing wrong legally, so they couldn't, and they were fired on first. So she actually said that, like, about Daniel Cameron, that yo mama's ashamed of you. She said the N-word a bunch of times, and she's like, all skin folk ain't kinfolk. And so she is like literally one of them, but she kind of looks good. I'm not gonna lie. 𝗼𝗵𝐾𝗄 Mallory kind of looks good. Basically, she's a fuckable version of Monica Cannon Grant. Okay. And she's, a much like bigger personality than her. She's more famous. And of course she's in touch. Of course they're in touch with 𝗼𝗵𝐾𝗄 Mallory, because that does not surprise me in the least. Go on
and have this conversation to give further details and explain the narrative that's being created around this mom. Mikayla broke up with Caitlyn, allegedly.
Wait, Mikayla broke up
called
with
her mother and
like...
stated, hey, I have her sweatshirts and I just want to return them.
Okay.
Expecting that the mom would come and pick them up.
Oh, right.
That mother, instead of coming to get them, went and told her daughter that Mikayla had called. That daughter then recruited these individuals, went to the clubhouse. The clubhouse is in the apartment.
So this is what's called slander, by the way. She didn't recruit these individuals. Her friends were visiting her from town, okay? And they went down, and the opposite happened. Mikayla asked the girl to come over, and they have proof of this all. So this is slander, what's happening right now. She is defaming these girls and lying about them, and she needs to pay the price. Someone needs to sue this woman to shut her big, fat fucking mouth.
That lady we talked to tonight should hit them where it fucking hurts. Get that fucking money. Sue the fuck out of these people that are bashing your fucking kid. Bashing
Absolutely.
the only fucking person that reached their fucking hand and their heart out to help this suffering fucking kid. Yep. The only person, and you're using her like a fucking toilet. She should sue you and every other half a fat fuck that fucking runs their fucking mouth about her.
She
should. Fucking coward fucks. Fuck you.
Where Mikayla lives. This is why them saying that there was no camera footage of the apartment complex is suspicious, because they would have caught all of these young people on camera. But it's funny that it disappeared for the whole month of April. But I digress. Up until the day after Mikayla was found. So they go to the clubhouse where Mikayla is hanging out.
I agree.
They jump her. In the report, they note blood on her lip, a swollen lip, and a black eye. Mikayla tells them all the names of the people who jumped her. They then sit outside of the clubhouse and antagonize her. D.A. Ryan states that all of the kids were in the clubhouse together chilling for 20 minutes. It is a lie. She has been lying throughout this whole case. Okay? Lying throughout this whole case. I feel like I have stepped in an episode of Law and Order, the atrociousness and the lies that this woman has got on TV and told. So they sit outside the clubhouse and antagonize Mikayla, blocking her from leaving because it's 5 of them and it's 1 of her.
That's
Finally,
not true.
They get in the
this
car
is
and
slander.
they leave.
She's lying.
Mikayla runs home, tells her mother. What does her mother do? Call 911 so a report can be made. Mikayla calls, her mother calls 911. They come. Now, they take the information. There's no report log. The only thing logged is that Mikayla's mother called 911. Excuse me. Where's the report of her being jumped by these 5 individuals? Non-existent. And I posted the police log and how it doesn't exist. Okay. So after that, later that evening, Mikayla left the house maybe around 9:30, 9:45. For whatever reason, the clubhouse is in the complex and she usually goes to the clubhouse to use her laptop and get Wi-Fi, because the phone that Mikayla had on her did not have Wi-Fi, and she had her laptop with her in her bag. None of this sounds like a young lady who's going to go kill herself. I need y'all to pay attention, because we're going to tell the truth and shame the devil.
We go tell the truth and shame the devil. That's how you know she got nothing to say. You have to come up with corny catch lines like that.
And just make shit up, though. Just blatantly make fucking shit up.
So they had no Wi-Fi. They had no Wi-Fi. So therefore, what is she even trying to say here? She's so fucking stupid. But she knows if I just deliver, it's all with delivery. And if I just say like, oh, wait till I tell you about all the shit I got here. Oh boy, it's a cover up. Oh yeah, we gonna shame the devil. It doesn't matter what she says. She
sounds like another fat greasy cunt that just got her word of the day. How many times has she said allegedly in the past 5 minutes?
Or
she just learned that word. She just learned it in court.
She just learned it.
Allegedly.
Right. Yeah. All right, here we go.
Mikayla then takes her backpack and leaves the house. Mikayla has on a black sweatsuit, black sweatpants, and a black hoodie.
Okay.
Leaves the house.
Okay.
A few hours later, Mikayla was dead.
Yes.
Now, D.A. Ryan told another lie. She stated that Mikayla walked 1,316 steps.
Which is true.
Well, guess what?
What?
𝗟𝗶𝘃𝗀𝘆 contacted Apple.
Okay.
There was no way to trace Mikayla's steps because the phone was deactivated and it was off and it had it had nothing in it. The only way you could use the phone is through Wi-Fi. Long story short.
No, they did not. That never happened. That literally never happened. Imagine, they contacted Apple and Apple's like, no. That never fucking happened.
Apple, who won't unlock an iPhone for the fucking CIA, you contacted them and they said, literally, isn't it still every cell phone? You go to a cell phone you had 3 phones ago and dial 911 on it. It works like a fucking charm. That's built into every cell phone the past fucking decade.
Yeah.
This is one of the idiots that believes that. Oh, it was turned off. So no, they can't prove that.
Apple gave her nothing. And I'll tell you what, and not only that, that's not how it works. If you keep your cell phone off, it still tracks. This is how desperate they are. This is how little they're clinging on to. They're like, oh yeah, we have the data that tracks her from here to here. It's like, no, you don't. I called up 1-800-Apple and the ghost of Steve Jobs was like, yo, check this out. Check this out. Nah, that's not how it works. You need Wi-Fi. Girl, you're stupid. You're out of your league. I'm much smarter than you. I graduated from fucking high school. I'm way smarter than you. Trust me. Sit this one out, girlfriend. You're out of your league.
DA admitted that they Googled the information. But that's not what she said publicly. Publicly, she said, we tracked it from Mikayla's phone. Well, you couldn't do that because the phone that was active, Mikayla's mother had at the house, and it never left the house. She has been lying throughout this whole case. And then admits that, well, maybe we had it wrong. The character assassination and the lies is why DA Ryan needs to be removed from this case and why we need an independent investigation for a police department and a district attorney to then recruit white supremacists to attack this mom.
First of all, what does she want? Like independent, she have white supremacists. What does she like? What does she think that's not how law and order works. Like we pay taxes. And when a crime occurs in a town, the district attorney's office in that town investigates it. Like independent, like who's going to come in here? Like a private investigator is going to come in and be like in charge of it? No, that's not how law and order works, you fucking
only if
dumbass.
I can get 40 grand up though.
Yeah, only if I can
get 40 G's. Son.
Yeah, I need 40 grand for it. Yeah. Go, sugar.
It's for the reason. Hopkinton is like Mayberry. Okay? That's what it's like. It's like Mayberry.
What? I mean, it's nice, but ain't that nice.
And the moment that this mother spoke up and went against what that state trooper told her not to do, which was go public, they have been on the attack. So now what's going to happen is the very thing that they thought we were going to do, which is protest.
Oh, good.
Now we're going to protest.
Now we're going to protest.
Before we did a visual and rally and honor Mikayla, because that needed to happen, right? That needed to happen because Mikayla's life needed to be honored. We needed to hold space. But the day before Mother's Day, DA Ryan, what you won't do is character assassinate this mom while screaming how important and beautiful Mikayla is. That is gaslighting, and you know exactly what you're doing. But your ego has been damaged, and you're in your feelings. Not for nothing, Jay. I wanna give y'all some very interesting information about.
Okay, so now what she does for like 10 minutes here is she brings up every scandal involving Marion Ryan, and I've criticized Marion Ryan in my works before. One of the most infamous scandals she was involved in was the Jared Remy one. You know Jared Remy?
Yeah.
The guy that Jerry Remy's thug son, who was arrested for beating the shit out of Jennifer Martell, his baby mama, and he was released on personal recognizance, and then he went home and killed her, and he's in jail fucking for life now because he's an animal. But yeah, he's a piece of shit, and so obviously that's one of her. So if anything, she's just another hack, liberal district attorney who is soft on crime, and that's my argument with her. And Monica brings this up, not realizing that like you're arguing a conservative position here and you're just too stupid to realize it. This whole like district attorneys are too soft on crime. That's our argument. That's a conservative argument. You're arguing a Republican talking point right now. You fucking dumbass.
Anytime we make that point, what are we called?
What, racist? I don't know.
Yeah,
I assume.
But that's now you say something we've said for years now, and all of a sudden you have a point.
Yeah,
fuck out of here. I literally so far I've gained 8 pounds just listening to this.
This is what we're dealing with. Yeah. I want y'all to have all the information. I tried to be respectable. I tried to be.
Oh yeah, she tried real hard
and realized that she was character assassinating this mom because she has a history of cover up, and they told this mom when she went to the courthouse, well, we kept the case open because you rallied. That is retaliatory. That came from DA Ryan's office. I want y'all to be clear. Sergeant O'Brien works out of DA Ryan's office. Everything in Middlesex County is connected to the Middlesex District Attorney.
State Police out of Millbury Barracks.
She needs to be removed.
which is in
but
Worcester
now
County.
We protest.
Okay, now we protest. What does
now
that
we
mean?
protest.
What does that mean?
Good.
Now we give you what you want.
This
you wanted a protest. You will get one. Because an assault case from March, that girl is dead. She is dead. That is not justification for this young lady's death. For you to try to blame and try, what she's doing is trying to say that Mikayla was abused and that's why she committed suicide. You are a horrible individual and you're going to burn in hell with gasoline draws on young lady.
You're going to burn in hell, cunt.
Because yesterday, and go to NBC 10 and look at that report of the cameras not being found. Okay. They also released that a black belt was tied around Mikayla's neck on an 8-inch tree as she was standing.
Okay.
You can't hang from an 8-inch tree.
Oh my God.
You cannot hang from an 8-inch tree.
This is how fucking stupid. You can't hang from. Yeah. Nobody said she was hanging from the tree. That is not the word in the report. It was suspended. Okay. Watch The Wire. It's like how they framed D'Angelo.
Wait,
like Barksdale.
There's another thing about her being a fucking retard window looking TikTok fuck. It was an 8-inch tree, 8 inches around in circumference. Not, she's just saying it like it wasn't like the size of my dick, an 8-inch tree. Like someone wrapped a belt around my cock and died on my balls. No, it was 8 inches around, you illiterate fucking moron.
Yeah.
That's how stupid like, this cunt is.
And also, she wasn't hanging.
She heard 8 inches, that's a small black man.
She wasn't lynched. She tied it to and then all you have to do at that point is just lean forward. That's it. Yep. Like, that's how she killed herself. This isn't, God, the arrogance and she thinks she's so smart. I cracked the case. No, you didn't, you dumb bitch. You can't even read.
8-inch tree.
Mikayla had on a sweatsuit. Where did the belt come from?
What? Nassau's wife wore a sweatsuit to court. And?
Yeah, I like Nassau's wife now. She's cool by me.
So we're funny. It still plays.
It's funny, but it still does. But here's like, so this guy, like, she's saying that Mikayla couldn't have used the belt because she wore a sweatsuit. Like, so she didn't have the belt on her pants, or she could have just brought it with her because that is how she intended to kill herself. Because, oh yeah, she used it previously during the FaceTime video. You fucking idiot.
8-inch tree. Allegedly.
A black sweatsuit and did not own a black belt.
Oh, she didn't own one.
But her neck was tied to the tree while she was on her feet.
Yes, because she leaned forward.
Hey.
Y'all pay attention to what's happening in Hopkinton, Massachusetts, and what they're trying to do.
Yeah.
If you didn't think that Massachusetts had racist individuals,
this is all she's got.
You're here now.
Oh.
For all of y'all who are super outraged by George Floyd, it is happening in your backyard.
She just compared this to George Floyd.
The same way y'all get in the car and load up and go to the club, now we protest.
Now we protest.
Oh,
who's going to the club?
Because what they're doing is assassinating this woman's character.
She said that 20 times.
Suicide. And I guess I'll leave y'all with this other jewel. Because
you know, Mambo drink.
Tell the truth and shame the devil. And I got time today.
Oh, I got time. Yeah, well, you got time every day because you don't have a job. So
get some water.
Violence in Boston did an independent autopsy yesterday.
She did an independent autopsy.
I got on the phone with Tito Jackson.
What?
In the funeral home.
What?
He paid to transport Mikayla to an independent
Listen what she
autopsy yesterday.
And her and Tito Jackson paid to take this girl's corpse and send them to a quote unquote independent autopsy, whatever the fuck that is. 1-800 independent autopsy. Yeah, I got a body for you. I got this corpse here. It's like 3 weeks old. Can I send it your way and you do an independent autopsy?
It's a lady. Yeah. It's a lady. Monica knows it's secondary autopsies and hair braids.
Yeah,
it's at the shop. It'll be fine. Just let them chop them up a bit.
Speaking with
Dreadlock Holmes.
Yeah, you get your hair did and get an autopsy.
Do y'all realize that the autopsy that we paid for took 2 to 3 hours?
Oh, snap. That sounds legit. Do y'all realize that?
2 to 3 hours.
Who did what's the name of the independent?
In fact, this particular doctor stated.
Who's the doctor? Who's the doctor?
The funeral home does not have to leave. They can actually stay because we had to send Mikayla out of state to have it done.
They sent the body out of state.
Because it only takes 2 to 3 hours. And we don't want them to have to go back and forth.
Who's this witch
being
doctor?
That we are out of state. So have them stick around. Because it only takes 2 to 3 hours.
I mean, does anyone believe this?
Autopsy.
How fucking stupid do you have to be to believe this? God, you have to be fucking
Let me tell y'all what's happening here.
It's
a
like
cover-up.
You're going to give me diabetes.
It is a cover-up. It is a cover-up. It is a
cover-up. It's like she got an oil change. What?
2 to 3 hours, y'all, is what it takes.
No, that's not how any of this works.
We're not playing with you. You killed one of our babies.
No,
the same way y'all are frustrated that they killed 9 of our grandparents in that church.
Oh, stop comparing it to that.
The police killed 𝗵𝗂𝗃𝗃 Bryant, and that's the other thing.
Oh, 𝗵𝗂𝗃𝗃
supremacists are so fixated on black folks. They've been confusing 𝗵𝗂𝗃𝗃 Bryant and Mikayla Miller's cases and saying some nasty derogatory things.
One was trying to stab a black girl,
but
the
it's
other
because
killed herself.
all of us look alike.
No, not like that. No, you're very noticeable.
Pay attention to what's happening.
She does look a lot like Khalil Mack.
These kids have police relationships. Their parents are cops. If this was 5 black kids, they would have been arrested already. DA Ryan knows exactly what she's doing, which is why she went on a media tour without talking to this
Seriously,
family.
You throw number 74 on her, I might think she's in the defensive
tackle. Don't pay attention to what's happening at the character assassination and the recruitment of white supremacist news outlets to destroy this mother's character. All of this is strategic.
Come on, Ted Washington,
None of this
chill
is
out.
by accident. It's the same thing that they did to me when they tried to take me down and could not. And could not.
Ooh.
They were pissed that we went out to Hopkinton and did a visual in a march. Yeah. In a rally. Ooh. And no one got arrested. They were upset.
No,
they was looking.
Congratulations, your
to
first
be able to
peaceful
report
rally.
that we came out there and acted crazy.
Good job, obese
and I was
captain.
confused, like, what are y'all talking about? But now a protest needs to happen. And we need to bring it directly to DA Ryan. We're going to protest you, DA Ryan.
Oh, okay.
We honored Mikayla. We held visual. But your pride.
Wait, she said we held a visual, not a visual?
Wouldn't allow you to step to the side. You don't want to have to say you're incompetent, even though there are multiple cases that prove your incompetency. So now,
analytical.
We protest at your doorstep.
Oh, what does that mean?
Because what you won't do is character assassinate this mother. Release this article the day before Mother's Day. You're callous. You're callous. I pray for your soul. You are callous.
Oh, yes. I pray for your soul. Yeah.
The day before Mother's Day, let's tell the truth and shame the devil, DA Ryan.
That's all she said.
You're character assassinating.
She just says the same thing.
Protect these white kids.
Yeah.
And then she tried to lie and say, well, a couple of them are Latinx. No.
Oh, they're not?
No, they all white.
No, they're not. Okay.
Alejandro?
There's another lie. Alejandro, the Puerto Rican white kid. Yeah. Alejandro, the Puerto Rican white kid. Yeah, he's so white. But she knows. I mean, she's literally making shit up. And people just don't care. She just makes shit up. She doesn't give a fuck. Nah, girl, I got receipts. Unlike you, I do my fucking homework.
I need reparations after listening to this bullshit.
Yeah, no, like I'm not 𝗏𝗏𝘃𝗀𝘆. I'm not your bitch. I'm not your fucking PR person, your state, your welfare funded fucking PR person, 𝗏𝗏𝘃𝗀𝘆. And I'm a real reporter. I do my fucking homework. Okay. And that's why you're not going to call me your homegirl at the next rally because I ain't your homegirl. I'm the person who exposes
no sauces.
You. Got no sauces.
I couldn't come for you the way I needed to come for you on Jim Brody.
Oh, please don't come
for you now.
Please, yeah,
and we're all coming.
Please, nobody's coming on you. Nobody's coming for you, girl. Nobody's coming for you. Stop that. Ugh.
And I'm recruiting because we're coming.
No more coming.
Proved your incompetence in the 𝗵𝗵𝗃𝗃𝗃 case. You have proved your incompetence to the point where the United States Supreme Court has had to come to Middlesex to deal with your incompetency.
I don't know about
you withheld 19 pages in a case.
Okay.
No different than them folks that climbed the Capitol.
Who's not? Wait.
You come across progressive, but your progression ain't our progression. Oh, you know?
She's just so DA Ryan's like the Capitol
DA, and you say how power to the people, and you put your Black Lives Matter sign in your front yard. Yeah?
Your cheese sandwich. Yeah. I don't have one, but
You're the person I was talking about that comes to the protest, go home and eat the cheese sandwich and say, I marched with the Negroes and now I'm woke.
I think it's fair to. I think that's fair.
Yeah, no.
What the fuck is wrong with cheese sandwiches?
We're done.
Without melting it? I mean, throw some butter on it.
You stated on camera that your police officer seen the bruises on Mikayla's face. Excuse me. You see her busted lip that was bleeding.
Yeah,
you see her black eye.
That's the totality.
And now she's dead.
She had a cut.
No charges filed. No report taken.
Yeah, because they didn't kill her.
But you managed to find, because I have to go out and take care of some business. I'm going to put together a Facebook invite and a flyer.
So she's going to put together a
If you are a white accomplice in this work, you have a responsibility to show up.
You have a responsibility.
If you are a black person with a child, nieces, nephews, cousins, and you know what it is like to face racism, you have a responsibility to show up.
You have
Let
to
me
show
tell you
up.
what Violence in Boston is going to do.
Everyone.
We got a van. There's 15 passengers.
We got a van. Okay.
We got some lift codes.
Oh, we got lift codes.
I drive an SUV.
Of course you do.
We're going to take a road trip.
Okay.
But now it's a protest. Shout out to Freedom Fighters Coalition. Shout out to 𝗟𝗵𝘃𝗀𝘆. 𝗟𝗵𝘃𝗀𝘆 been hitting me up, Monica. You got to do something. Oh. Something don't feel right. And I've been...
So 𝗟𝗵𝘃𝗀𝘆 been hitting her up. 𝗟𝗵𝘃𝗀𝘆 is Ernst, the guy whose mother couldn't afford to buy him a vowel in his name. Ernst, the white kid. He's basically a white kid from Penn State, who, by the way, is currently facing charges for assaulting an 80-year-old woman in 𝗃𝗏𝘃𝗃. So Ernst is the bad guy in her ear telling Monica, we got a riot. And she's like, you know what? I'm gonna listen to Ernst.
Allegedly.
𝗟𝗵𝘃𝗀𝘆's like, Monica, we got to do something else. We got to apply this pressure. And I've been like, give me a minute. Let me just see what's about to happen.
Give me a minute.
Now it's on.
It's on.
Black Boston, I'm calling you. Freedom Fighters Coalition, I'm calling you. Surge, I'm calling you.
Calling you.
Everybody who claim they standing up for racial justice, we in Massachusetts.
I'm calling you.
Not George Floyd. Not Breonna Taylor. Not Ahmaud Arbery. Mikayla Miller, Massachusetts.
Yeah, you don't give a fuck about her.
Protesting for all of y'all who are like, everybody's so worried about. Let me tell you what's uncomfortable happened to ID your child's body. What's uncomfortable is Mother's Day is tomorrow and your child is not here.
God, all she's doing is just talking.
To be. I'm a mom of 5 kids. Anything happens to one of my kids, I am turning the city of Boston upside down. I don't want to hear no marching. I don't want to hear no peaceful protests. I am going to turn this city upside down. So
her son is a gang member, by the way, and he makes gangster rap videos, but you know, she's really into peaceful things, and she's talking about, you know, rioting in the city. So
imagine what her mother is feeling like. Only imagine. And when they put a gun to my son's head and pulled the trigger and he lived, I had a responsibility to every mother
because your son is a gangbanger. Your son's a gang member.
Yeah, that's what happens.
And I hope everybody on this live has that same responsibility to show up for this mom in numbers. When I tell you numbers, you share this. You contact every activist that you have contact with. You contact every racial justice organization in this country, because the selectman board had a meeting about us coming to Hopkinton, not because Mikayla was dead, but because, oh my God, diversity is showing up in numbers.
No, because you were showing up.
I want y'all to understand. I watch people capitalize off of this. I watch everybody in the world.
She watched people capitalize off of this.
Mikayla's story and her flyer. Everybody had all this information. The information they had came from
𝗵𝗵𝘃𝗀𝘆. That's her new name.
And me.
That's pretty good. We gotta keep that one. You gotta keep that one.
That's her name. 𝗵𝗵𝘃𝗀𝘆.
That's better than 𝗵𝗶𝘃𝗀𝘆.
One of our own trying to convince.
You won that one, man. You won that one. Well,
what about Ben? How about Ben Plump? Ben Plump.
Not today.
That's all right.
Look at how she's attacking.
Yeah, it was a good one.
𝗃𝗀𝘃𝗃 was pretty fucking funny.
I'm gonna get dressed and go take care of my business.
Oh yeah.
By the end of today, there will be a Facebook invite that you are a blood boil. I haven't even talked to 𝗃𝗏𝘃𝗀𝘆 yet, but I don't need to. Because what we're not going to do is character assassinate this mother the day before Mother's Day.
Okay, so let's watch the
allegedly.
Let's watch part 2 here real quick, okay? And we're almost done. I know there's only a little bit more, but part 2 is even better.
They paid for 2 freestyles at this point.
I know. I'm gonna do the freestyle.
Diabetes listening to this fat bitch.
I know. I'll just trust me. This gets good.
The trash they're putting out. Hey, Kima. Hey, Rock. How they're trying to spin this case that is happening with Mikayla Miller. So, a couple of things. I've been trolled by white supremacists heavily. Yesterday, my husband handed me a package, and it said it was from TD Bank. I don't have a TD Bank account. Someone opened up a bank account in my name, and they sent me like 3 booklets of checks.
Girl,
so
that
we've
was
been
you.
on the phone with them, tracking who did it.
Okay, whatever.
Let's dig into part 2 of this story. So this evening, what's wrong? Mikayla's ex-girlfriend, Caitlin Anderson, is doing an interview. She apparently put up an Instagram post that says, "This hurts so bad and we miss you, but I have an obligation to defend my family." I thought it was odd that out of all the news media outlets in the world to go to, Caitlin's mother chose to contact Turtleboy and
she thinks
demonstrate this falsehood. But before we dig into that, because I got my daughter helping me, who's going to drop some things on y'all just to show y'all how deep that this cover-up goes. First, I want to tell you that we already knew something was odd in regards to the story NBC dropped about the cameras not being working.
Okay.
Office is, first off, the cameras parking lot in front of the main comment.
Okay, the cameras.
One, these people have been trying to help the residents of Hopkinton who clearly state they know that their town is racist, right?
Oh, okay.
So once this live is over, I'm going to post all of this on my Facebook page. But that was a neighbor that lives in the complex that says the cameras are never not working.
Okay, the cameras
ran by a man who used to be a school teacher.
Okay, now we can talk about me.
Her name. It's because tonight she plans to do an interview to defend her family. But initially, her mom went to Turtleboy, not NBC, not CBS, not the Globe. Turtleboy.
Thank you.
True.
I would argue that is the responsible thing. And thank you for the free advertisement, by the way, Monica. That is what anybody responsible would do if they want to get the word out, because they know I'll get it out. They know I'm going to tell the truth.
So how many people are going to credit you with this when they inevitably write about it tomorrow? I honestly believe there's someone in Massachusetts that works for some little fucking dick rag. They're typing furiously right now to be the ones to break the mothers of the girlfriend story. You know what I'm saying? Like,
they're going to go after. They are going to go after. I hope Megan's prepared for this, because they are going to go after her hard now. The Globe and stuff like that.
What did I tell her? I said, tell your kid, turn the fucking internet off. Get that fucking I wish I should have said, take her fucking phone. If you really give a fuck, take her fucking phone.
Right.
And
those who are unfamiliar with her,
mean fucking place, man.
Now, so listen to what she says about me here.
Turtleboy is an organization ran by a man who used to be a school teacher who was removed because of sexual assault allegations, who works with the police department.
Okay, so slander, you're getting sued, cunt. That is a slander. I was never accused of sexual assault. I was never removed. I quit. I quit my job. I've published the fucking separation agreement. That literally never happened. You're getting sued. You can't just make shit up, bitch.
Which is how he gets copies of police reports he shouldn't have, which is how he gets copies of police information he shouldn't have. But what they do is they take a piece of the truth and a piece of a lie and they put it together, then they create a story. This is who Caitlin Anderson's mother chose to contact during this process, because of course all white supremacists roll together. They love our melanin and they love to sleep with us and they love to be in relationships with us, but God, they hate to be held accountable. I digress.
Oh, she learned a new word.
Turtleboy drops this article and it supposedly has screenshots in regards to that Mikayla supposedly has sent to Kaylin in the
So she's going to say now the screenshots that I posted are not real.
You can't drop it either?
What is her evidence? Let's see the evidence, Monica. What evidence do you have?
Oh, wait, so come over here. So my daughter is going to show you the difference in the messages that they said were Mikayla's.
So one of Monica, Raw Dog Trophies now is going to come forward. The technology expert, mind you, is going to come forward with evidence that I fabricated those screenshots that you all just read, because those screenshots are damning. We all agree. She agrees those screenshots are damning. If they are real, it proves she's suicidal. Okay. So Monica's only defense now to keep this lie going is that they were doctored.
Actual Apple iPhone messages look like. I also want to reiterate this and state this, and you can go Google it, guys. You can create text messages on your own and they be fraudulent. You can also talk to yourself within your iPhone and it looks like you're having a conversation with someone else. Let's just be clear, because we're going to play this mind game with them. I'm locked and loaded.
It was a big setup.
So you got it?
With the date on it.
You explain.
So this is the initial text message that they're saying that Mikayla sent.
Technology.
There's a picture right on top of a message. When you have an iPhone, you cannot put, pictures don't come over a message. The message would be before. So now I'm going to take you to here. If I want to send myself a text message, it's going to appear as though I'm having a conversation with someone, but it'll send it right back. And I can literally have a conversation, just delete what I'm saying and make it look like I'm having a conversation with somebody else.
But the same words.
So now I'm going to show you how.
Yeah, but they're saying, and then you delete your part. And it looks
when you
like
send a picture, it automatically sends the time that you sent the picture. Wednesday, 7:50.
No, that's
Wednesday, 9:22. 6:31. You see every time you send a picture what time it comes. So there's no way that they were having a conversation and the time wasn't there, which means those pictures were edited.
Oh, is that true? Well, let's check out the archives.
Okay.
This, obviously, this child is Monica Cannon Grant's offspring, is obviously a technological expert now. We actually did this. Check this out. This is what happens. Let's watch what actually happens during this. So the test, okay. So that one was read. Okay. 806. Delivered. Okay. Now let's see with pictures. Let's happen with pictures when they add pictures to it. Okay. So what is she trying to say happens here? That what?
So now if you go and delete the ones that are on the left side, the ones you originally sent, it looks like all the text now came from the right side, which is the other person.
Okay, so like right here, like they disappear under it. So like each individual thing doesn't contain a time, right?
Each picture should.
Right. Well, does it though? I mean,
I don't know. I don't have an iPhone. Fuck iPhone.
It doesn't. Like, do you see it? It only goes under the most recent one. So the daughter is trying to say, well, it's doctored because why? Like, it doesn't even make any sense.
Yeah. To what end?
If your technology expert is Monica's fucking Raw Dog Trophy, then you probably need a new technology expert. Just saying.
So
4 hours.
So far, let's run through the lies. They've lied about there being a conversation between Mikayla and Caitlyn around Mikayla attempting to, or committing suicide. They've lied about the amount of steps that Mikayla, quote unquote, took from the house. Mind you, throughout this whole process, the luxury is that Caitlyn Anderson gets to have an interview tonight and have an exclusive interview.
Gets to, but God forbid that she speaks out. Monica's the only one allowed to speak out and run the narrative. God forbid a 16-year-old defend herself. Yeah,
she just told on herself that she's jelly as fuck. An exclusive interview.
I mean, Monica, your fat ass is welcome on here whenever you want, girlfriend. Consider it an open invitation.
Waddle on up, tough girl.
I know you're watching right now. Come on in the comments. I'll put the StreamYard link on here, and your fat ass can come on here and join us.
Right? And Mikayla's not here. Caitlyn is also the person who organized them jumping Mikayla.
Slander.
Let's be clear.
Slander.
The person who's interviewing tonight is Mikayla's ex-girlfriend who recruited the other young people to jump Mikayla. Okay? So let's just put that out there.
She's just making it up. It's slander.
The disrespect that this mom has received up until this point is atrocious, to the point where people who have donated to her GoFundMe have tried to take their money back due to the Turtleboy article.
Good.
When I tell you these people
learn the
like
truth.
a mob,
Yes.
they move like a mob. And what they do is he
organizes
his followers to destroy you. They've done it to some of your best, right?
Yeah, some of the worst.
Kind of like you fucking assholes did with GoFundMe for lawyers.
And
You mean
so
like
we
that?
know as we look at those messages that those messages are fraudulent. It also shows that when they took a screenshot of Caitlin's Instagram, she only had 3 posts. So let's just
So she only had 3 posts?
What teenager you know is on Instagram and only has 3 posts?
Oh, she cracked the case. There was only 3 posts from an Instagram account of
Camera's not working. Caitlin only has 3 posts. And now she has a full-fledged conversation
This
with
is all
Mikayla,
she has.
found with a sweatsuit with a thin black belt, tied around her neck.
So she's stuck on this same bullshit.
Hanging from a thin branch. Wording and language is important, so I need y'all to.
Okay.
That's gonna make a bunch of y'all feel uncomfortable.
Wait, what'd she say?
No sense.
Okay, check this out.
Mikayla was 5'5" and 170 pounds. How did a thin belt tied around a thin branch hang her?
It wasn't.
Mind you, she had on a sweatsuit that does not require a belt. Where did the belt come from?
She brought it with her.
Now this evening, Caitlin Anderson is doing an interview.
No, she's not.
Let me say something to y'all that's gonna make a bunch of y'all feel uncomfortable.
What are you gonna say? What are you gonna say?
White women and white tears are dangerous.
Oh, white women and white tears are dangerous.
So I want y'all to pay attention to that interview tonight. Because the moment she starts crying, all hell gonna break loose.
Oh, so she did cry.
We know how this goes. But understand that the person who's going to do that interview tonight and the person that's crying is the same person that organized these young people to jump Mikayla.
She said, like, what the white tears are dangerous. When white people cry, it's dangerous. And that all hell is going to break loose if she cries, which she did at one point, and all hell is going to break loose. So that's a threat. That's clearly a threat.
On 17. Okay? Let's just keep it a buck. When she's crying and y'all are feeling so bad for Caitlin, know that Caitlin organized, orchestrated, and assisted.
She's saying this about a child, man.
Miller.
She's like this 16-year-old girl's a fucking cunt. You're 40 and you're talking about a child, you fucking cow. What the hell's wrong with you?
The same reason that they claim they can't arrest these young people is the same reason they kept open this assault case, which was supposed to be dismissed, but because of COVID,
you did this, Boston Globe. You made this a thing. Good job. Good job, Tory Bedford.
Why it's not dismissed
fucking idiot.
You were rallying in Hopkinton. We're going to keep it open in July. Well, guys, let me tell you about that.
Huh?
July is the same time that they said that the autopsy will be back. Go figure. So you're not going to close this case and keep it open until July, which is the same timeline as when the autopsy is supposed to come back.
Okay, I don't even know what you're
Especially Black women. We are the best private investigators in the world. So if y'all have y'all's PhD and CSI and Law and Order and Crime 360 and what's that other show we used to watch where they tell on everybody?
Dude, she gets
First
her.
48.
She's like saying
Stevie Wonder can see the cover up.
I learned everything by watching fucking CSI.
Because the autopsy that we paid for Friday is complete.
Oh, she did it.
It took 2 to 3 hours.
Oh, the witch doctor.
That's what we were told by the doctor.
Oh, the witch doctor.
Not in this state.
Who's not named either and not real.
And we should have the results sometime next week.
Oh, can't wait to see the big reveal. Who is the father?
Why are we waiting to July? Oh, because they kept this case open on purpose.
I agree with her that
now
they
Caitlin Anderson is
need to be more transparent to end this shit.
After her and her family contacted Turtleboy first, which is a white supremacist organization.
Nah, we're really not. I don't even like
ran by a white supremacist.
No, really not. I don't even like white people.
Same people we protested against in 2000.
I fucking hate white people.
Y'all better pay attention.
I hate them all. Like, I fucking really hate white people. I'm kind of ashamed of my skin. I wish I was Asian.
And one of the mothers of the kids accused, she's going on Turtleboy tonight.
No, she's the only one coming on.
Why they not going on NBC?
Why the? I'm clipping that. Why are they not going
on WGBH?
Why? Probably because she wants the real story told, and because they didn't invite her on, because they're not real news. They are fake news.
They going on Turtleboy.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are.
Y'all better pay attention to this cover up. It's disgusting and it's deep. And all of this is orchestrated by Marion Ryan, District Attorney Marion Ryan. Yep. This is her doing. Yep. Because she's upset that we had the audacity as Black people to ask her to be removed. So she partners with the white supremacists to come for this Black mother the day before Mother's Day. And Caitlyn is doing this interview tonight because, you know, she probably ain't going to buy her mother nothing for Mother's Day.
Oh, anyway. She goes, she ain't going to buy her. Caitlyn's doing this interview tonight because she ain't going to buy her mother nothing. She's shitting on a child. She's like, you're a fucking grown-up shitting on a 16-year-old who you falsely accused of murder. You evil, disgusting pig. That's what you are. A fucking nasty pig.
Y'all need to pay attention. I need y'all to pay close attention. You don't have to like me. You don't have to be my friend. It's so funny. A woman shared my live video earlier today. She said, I detest Monica, but I can't disagree with what she's saying.
No, that literally never happened.
I want everybody to feel that way.
No, nobody felt that way.
You ain't got to like me.
Nobody likes you.
Pay attention that they killed one of our children.
No, they didn't.
Like they killed our grandmothers.
Nope.
Like they killed George Floyd. No, like they killed Ahmaud Arbery. Nope. Like they killed Breonna Taylor.
No, they didn't do that.
And the expectation is that we are going to go away.
No, we don't think you're going to go away.
Shout out to the accomplices in this work. Shout out to the white accomplices who have been sitting.
Good job, Tori Bedford. Good job. You're a good white person.
Everywhere.
Have a cookie.
Telling us
good white girl. We're so proud of you. Here's
a
cheese sandwich for you. Good whitey. Good whitey. Fucking pathetic. That's why I hate white people.
All of them, because that is how we got this far. So I want you guys to save the date, May 21st.
Okay, so this is when the big protest is going to be, May 21st.
May 21st. Save that date.
I think we're golfing that day.
This is a Black young lady, part of the 𝗟𝗵𝘃𝗀𝘆 community. And now that I think about the statement that Sergeant O'Brien made to this mom,
isn't the other girl also part of the
LGBT? To the media because then they're gonna know her sexuality. I don't think it was Mikayla's sexuality they were trying to protect.
Oh, really? Whose was it?
I believe it has something to do with the relationship with Caitlyn.
Oh, they were trying to cover.
And the fact that her family is going to white supremacist outlets to respond to this crap.
So
tells us everything we need to know about what's happening in Hopkinton.
Oh yes,
and if you haven't done your homework, you better get to doing it. Get to go into hotels and feed them. Or when I'm working Terrence Clark's funeral as security inside the church while 5 months pregnant, please understand that, honey, I'm never going to take care anywhere before I take care of home, but this is home. I've gotten so many messages for people who have faced police brutality.
Shut the fuck up.
The Southeast Asian community reached out to me and asked for help for the racism that they've been facing in Hopkinton. It's to run for Attorney General.
Oh, okay. So it's a big cover. So I think we're about done with her. You guys got this? Yeah, people actually do listen to this. I mean, so I think we need a freestyle, Brett, don't you?
Can you not hear me?
I can hear you fine.
All right. Someone in the comments said they couldn't hear me. But yeah.
The whole time?
For the freestyle.
All right, let's do it. I'm going to put you backstage. Put you backstage. Mute the mic. Let's do it. Here we go, folks. Oh. Switch that. All right, here we go. How's the volume on that, all right? Here's a story you should know. Boston Globe won't tell you though. Teenager with a broken heart had no chance from the start. Going through so much strife. Needs adults in her life to give this girl some advice. Tell her it gon' be alright. Teen love wasn't meant to be. Plenty of fish in the sea. Ratchet mother wasn't there. Makes her think that no one cared. From the demons she can't hide. Contemplating suicide. Reached out to the counselor, but she didn't do shit for her. Where on earth was her mom? Trying to get her swerve on. Demons make her feel so low, but mama went to Chicago. Fuck off with your thoughts and prayers. X was the only one who cares. No one in the Commonwealth doing shit about mental health. She screamed out, but no one heard her. BLM says this was murder. They don't care who survives. No fucks given about Black lives. Mikayla died alone and scared by suicide, so no one cared. Mental health, no one flinched. Only useful if she's lynched. Mom didn't care, neither did a rant. Called up Monica, Kearney, and Grant. This bitch is mad subjective, acting like she's a detective. Just because you shape like Dumbo, that don't mean that you Columbo. 𝗝𝗵𝘃𝗀𝘆 is always lying, talking shots of Barry and Ryan. All her bullshit is so wrong. Make shit out as she goes along. Send this bitch to Venezuela. She don't care about Mikayla. Makes some founded accusations. White folk pay her reparations. Race hustler, Tito Jackson, lecturing all the Anglo-Saxons. Tells them that they good allies if they believe all his lies. Swearing teens because they white. Wants race riots to ignite. Seen they got an alibi, but Tito wanna crucify. Admit he wrong, kids is slim. Black lives don't matter to him. No one has apologized to these kids they demonize. All their lying just distracts. So Turtleboy brought the facts. Used to get away with this. Race guide was the fatal kiss. No more bullshit anymore. We got the truth, so we win in this war.
No
Woo!
poop emojis.
No poop emojis.
Poops.
Zero poops.
I didn't see one Genetti emoji.
What? Come on. Yeah, I'm fired up for this one. Okay.
Come on, Monica. What?
Come on. What? All right.
Yeah, that was great.
So that was the biggest show we've had. Why don't we take any questions anybody has out there? Do you guys like that?
That was fucking awesome.
Oh, thanks, brother. Glad you liked it. You know, had to be good for this one. Come on.
Dude, this camera looks way better with the cover off.
It looks like a real camera. I didn't know what the fuck was wrong with your camera before. I'm like, why is it blurry? I couldn't figure it out. I'm like, what the hell? Yeah. Suck on that, Genetti. Yeah. Yeah. Does she know who Mike Genetti is? Like, the guy we've picked on more than anyone like the last 3 months is the biggest cracker in Boston.
Crack.
Yeah. All right. Any questions? Is the music copyrighted? I mean, they don't take the videos down when it gets copyrighted. They just don't let you monetize it. But we make like 3 cents on these videos anyway. Okay. Will you do a show on who you are? Yeah, my name's Aidan Kearney. How about this, Sheila? Not only will I do a show on who I am, I'll write a whole fucking book on it. And I think I'm going to call it I Am Turtleboy, now available in the Amazon store. Get it today. Wow. Trust me, you're going to like it. You're going to like it. I might do that. They're so smart, Bret. They're so smart. They ask the best questions.
That was a genius question.
Yeah, great question. Great fucking question. Monica must have sent that one. All right. Any other questions?
Yeah.
Any other questions you guys have?
I don't have pants on. I absolutely have pants. And that's not.
You're pulling a Brian Stelter, doing it in your underpants?
Just sit here naked from the waist down. They could only see my t-shirt. Fuck them. Swinging.
All right. I know. They broke the case, Mega Mortis. They broke the case. All right. Yeah, I mean, I'm planning on suing her. Okay, I'm going to sue her. I'll see what happens. But they need to sue her more because the damage that they've done to me was like a simple comment. Yes, that's damaging. But they've been damaged significantly more. I sincerely hope they sue. I sincerely hope they do.
Sue the fuck out of Monica. Period.
That was Rich London's first freestyle. He has cherry popped. Hope you like it, Rich. I do it every week. Every
Saturday, yeah.
All right. Any other questions?
He said, wait, what's Turtleboy? Where am I?
There's a protest in Lowell. And by the way, if she actually cared about Black lives and like wanted to find out a Black girl was murdered, there's this girl named Emilie Nieves. She lived in Lowell. She's dead. She was killed by her boyfriend Dante Degree and cleaned up by Tina Degree, aka Beast Lightning. You may recognize her from Ratchet Madness. She made the Final Four. If you really care about Black lives, I know she's brown and she speaks Spanish, but that should count for something. And she was also killed by a Black guy, so I don't know if that works out for your. But if you actually care about a murdered Black person who, never got justice, her name is Emilie, Emilie Nieves. She lived in Lowell. She's dead. She was murdered by her boyfriend, Dante Degree. Devontae Degree. All right. Any other questions, guys? Good question. When you win school committee, will it interfere with the blog? No, it shouldn't interfere with the blog. I mean, it's a part-time job. Like I do at meetings once every 2 weeks, I believe. And no, I mean, I'm not going to blog. Somebody asked a good question on the page the other day. Are you going to continue to blog about school committee members and stuff when you get on? No, I will not be blogging about anything school committee related or Wachusett schools related, really, unless it's fucking really egregious. Because I think that's a little bit inappropriate. And you know, I'll talk about it when I'm getting running for office, because I talk about this stuff and these are current events and these are issues. But once I get on, I'm working for the kids, not for Turtleboy, and I plan on separating the two. Okay. Am I really a white supremacist? No. I don't think white people are supreme in anything. I think we're actually quite inferior, if you ask me. I'm somewhat of an Asian supremacist. I mean, those motherfuckers got everything figured out. Like, they have the best culture. I think the Asian culture is the best because they don't put up with bullshit from their kids. They demand good, education, respect. I'm an Asian supremacist, I would argue, but definitely not white supremacist. White people are a fucking joke. So how about that, Sheila?
Baked potato baby supremacist.
Yeah, baked potatoes.
Potato babies.
All right. Anything else, guys? Any other questions about anything related to this? Brett, is there an after show tonight they want to know?
Yeah, about 5 minutes after this ends.
Excellent. So go to the Bret channel if you want to check that out. All right. I never heard TV's a D-bag. This has to be Genetti. No, actually, this makes too much sense for Genetti.
No,
he spelled auto.
D-bag. He has a D-bag face. Get it right, you fucking cocksucker. He just looks like a D-bag when he wants to.
All right, guys. So I'm doing a standout tomorrow. If anybody wants to help, I'm going to do it in the center of Holden at 11 a.m. The center at the corner intersection of Route 31 and 122 at 11 a.m. Be there or be squared. 11 a.m. And the election is on Monday. If you're a Holden resident, get out and vote, baby. I need you out there. I also need volunteers. There's 4 polling places in Holden on Monday. I need people at every one of them, and I'm going to go back and forth with them, with my daughter. We're going to be holding signs together, and we're going to be out there, baby. So I'm excited. I'm excited. So
you got this. Monday's Victory Monday.
Yes, Monday's going to be a great day in Turtleboy history. So
I'm telling you.
And yeah, if anybody even wants to, even if you don't live in Holden and you would like to hold signs at these precincts, that works too. I'm going to be at the polls at 6:45 a.m. because they open at 7. You want to be there for the early rush, and probably do that to like 8:30, and then I'll come back for the afternoon rush around 4. Maybe do that to like 5:30. So get out there, baby. Get out there. We need you people out there. We love you all. All right, guys, and message me. Just send me a DM, send me an email, turtleboysports@gmail.com if you'd like to join me. We got 507 people here. It's fucking 11:15. What a night. All right, guys, I'm going to call it a night, though.
People as soon as you started playing Monica videos, just so you know, we were up to 900 something. We got the screening to prove it. You put that fucking wildebeest on, we dropped to 704.
I wanted to get to 1,000. We didn't quite get there, but we came close.
Rolled out your prized fucking pig. We could have just talked more about the relevant shit instead of rolling out the black wolf at Brimley.
Should I this isn't Charlotte's Web. I'm not going to be like, that's a fine pig. That's a fine pig. Fine hog. You got smart hog, smart pig. All right, guys. We will see you guys all for the next episode of Turtleboy Live on Tuesday, which hopefully I'll be an elected member of the Wachusett Regional School Committee at that point. All right. Peace, all right.